Good morning, guys. We are here. I'm not going to do the tech countdown thing. The reason why is because oil just got a little bit of a pop down. So oil just jumped down. Look at Apple rise up here. So Apple is still rising after doing really, really good with their earnings report yesterday. Yeah, very interesting day here today. Remember, it's May Day, so a lot of Europe is actually effectively closed today. We do have ISM Manufacturing PMI later. Apple killed it. They beat on everything last night. Revenue beat came in at 111.2 billion. EPS of 2 billion of 2 plus 201 beat EPS and revenue. iPhone had a record quarter. China sales are up 28%. Service record was up almost 31 billion. They guided for quarter three up 14 to 17%. The street was expecting 9.5. The only thing that was really bad about Apple earnings here, and you can see Apple on the left side of this chart. The only thing that was really bad about them yesterday was that it warned about significantly higher memory costs ahead. 100 billion buyback announced. And speaking of memory prices, Sandisk also had earnings, and Sandisk did great. They posted a wild number. It was like 23 something EPS versus like $14 and something expected, but they actually reacted pretty negatively here. So Sandisk actually reacted negatively. What's up, Palm? What's up, Check? J, OG Gamer, Java, Jono, FU, That Pulse, Big Slum, Significant, Lag, Yee, Dragos, BB, Uncle Nelly, G-Man, Brian, Samuel, Old Hack, John, Giovanni, Deckers, Ava. Good morning, good morning.
Morning, everybody. How you guys doing?
Yeah, we have Britt here.
Yeah. Why do we think oil's popping down now?
I don't know. I was trying to find some news to see what it was. We did have Exxon earnings this morning here. So we did have Exxon earnings this morning. They were mostly flat. Not a huge reaction for Exxon earnings. These are Exxon. This is the Exxon chart right here. Not a huge reaction to it. So we did have Reddit also beat earnings. Strong revenue guided. Social media and ad play is working. But oil's kind of pulling back a little bit if we look deeper into oil here this morning. So here's oil, right? Oil has pulled back a little bit from the highs it put in yesterday. You know, yesterday, or really this was Wednesday night, they had a crazy big move up to 111 for WTI futures. We're still kind of fading back down, but as you can see, oil is starting to come back down a little bit right now. It's at about 105s for oil. The yen surged 3% in the FX market, the biggest move we've seen in a long time for it. The ECB and the Bank of England both held rates just like we did yesterday. But apparently April was the best month in markets since 2020. S&P is at all-time highs. Apple crushed it. Oil is still at 105s. Brent is at like 114s today.
What's NVIDIA doing?
NVIDIA has had a really tough few days here. NVIDIA went up to almost 220 for NVIDIA. So let me get myself out the way here. I'm blocking this chart. But NVIDIA has had a really rough few days here. You can see it went all the way up to 220s. Not when was this? This was on the 27th for NVIDIA. It has since fallen all the way down to $200 a share. So it gave up a lot of the big moves that it was making. Silver is another thing people are talking about here. Silver is at $74 an ounce. Silver, if we take a longer term look at it, like here's a 10-day chart. Silver's giving back a lot of gains too here. Just less easing potential with the Iran conflict is, I think, what gold, which again, gold is right here. Gold is pulled back in the same way. I think markets pricing in less easing is just making things nervous for gold and silver. Roblox, also, I see people mentioning this, got absolutely hammered on their earnings report. Yeah, just absolutely hammered. You can see it's at 41.87s right now. It was at 55. So Roblox, just on a percentage basis this morning here, chat, is down from 55 to 42, 41s. So roughly a 25% drop for Roblox. Very large drop percentage here. What's up, Sam? What's up, dude? Checkerboard. Wow, a ton of longs just came in for Bitcoin. Not moving much. Let's take a look at, we can look at Bitcoin right now. Remember, it is May Day, which is kind of like Europe's and overseas Labor Day. So some markets are closed today, so we could have slightly lower volume today. It's a Friday. It's also May Day. Here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin up to 77s again, kind of getting some steam back up early this morning. A lot of the time, Bitcoin does move when some other markets are closed, and so maybe May Day is influencing this one. Nvidia's giving you a chance to get back in at a lower price. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's what we're seeing. Is it time to buy Nvidia, chat? Let me know. We're talking long term, too. I'm talking like 20 years. Is it time to buy Nvidia? Let me know. Ton of longs came in for Bitcoin.
Long term, sure. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it'll go up. I doubt it's going anywhere. I mean, famous last words and everything, but I doubt it's going anywhere.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was curious about the reason I was curious about Nvidia and Microsoft. It's because I see here that Microsoft, that the Pentagon said they're going to increase Nvidia and Microsoft AI usage in secret systems. So I thought maybe that might have had some effect on the price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it says the Pentagon is going to expand NVIDIA and Microsoft AI use in secret networks, according to Bloomberg. This is probably because they're having so many problems with Anthropic. The NVIDIA one's still relevant, but Microsoft AI use, they probably just having issues with Anthropic, and so they're trying to use other ones. And say they're using other ones. My guess here is about what this is about, but maybe not.
Well, it seems to have so far to have had little to no effect on the, at least no positive effect on the stock prices.
Yeah. And it's also going to give them our data, I'm sure, like Pentagon dumping more into tech giants for secret networks is expected. So, yeah. I'm reading some posts, what people are basically saying about this on social media here. But yeah, there's new possible Iran strikes on the ceasefire. We heard that yesterday. Gas prices hit a 4-year high amid the Iran conflict as well. We heard that too. But we did have some earnings this morning. We had, if you look here, we had Moderna. Moderna released earnings. So we had Moderna. We had Colgate. Moderna posted negative 3.4 EPS. They expected to lose 396. They lost 3.4. So a little bit smaller loss than expected. Revenue came in at 400 million for Moderna. They expected 228. So they beat revenue. I also see this, look, the U.S. Air Force logistics bridge into the Middle East continues at a steady pace with at least 11 C-117A Globemaster 3s active this morning. And this is by OSINT Defender here, so you can see some of these planes staying active in the Middle East here. And yeah. Also, we see that the White House is claiming the war in Iran is over amid an open-ended ceasefire, an argument that sets the administration up to bypass seeking congressional approval for the conflict. A senior administration official in a statement tells CNN that the purposes of the law, the hostilities that began on Saturday, have terminated. So I don't know if I agree with that. I think the conflict is still ongoing. I think until we get a deal done, an agreement done, which is not looking very likely right now, it's still rolling on. So.
I don't know, I mean, maybe there's a purpose for it, like you were saying, but at the same time, you can't put out statements like that are especially if they're going to prove to be patently false, just because it makes your whole administration look incompetent.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Sorry, I ADHD that, Britt. What? Sorry.
That's okay. It's okay.
It happens, brother. It happens, man. I'm sorry. What did you say?
So what now, let me try to recall it. I can never say anything as well the second time around, but I'll try.
Chat, what did he say? Go ahead, dude. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Now I'm ADHD. But anyway, so point is, I was saying, maybe there's a reason behind putting out that statement. Maybe they're trying to, get some kind of extension, or maybe they're trying to trick somebody. I don't know. But you can't put out statements like that are going to prove to be patently false, because I don't think the conflict is over. And if the statement ends up being untrue, then all you do is make yourself and your administration look incompetent or ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I think this has more to do with...
Even if there's a motive for it, it just, the public is not going to generally see the deeper motive.
Yeah, but I think this has more to do with the congressional approval aspect of it. From my understanding, they're making votes about the extent of this, or on whether the president had congressional approval, and so I think this is kind of a scapegoat, so to speak, in that regard for it.
It's a workaround.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
And I get that, but most of the public is not.
I guess I should have said.
Yeah, well, I get that, but most of the public is not going to see that or think about that. In my
no, for sure, 100%. They're going to see this and they're going to say that's not true. 100%. Yeah. That's absolutely right. Bitcoin, guys, just turned here. Let's take a look at some other stuff. So here's the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's not really doing much, but if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin just turned all the way back down here. So look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin just dropped all the way down to 77.3s here for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin went all the way up to 77.6s, back down to 77.3s. The NASDAQ looks like a short. And maybe I will short it. We've had a couple really good days day trading some of this stuff. What's up, Sam? Now it's barely holding 200. Yeah, we're talking about NVIDIA retesting 196 support. Google was killing it yesterday. Yeah, Google earnings helped it react really well. And I did jump into a trade here. We have 3 contracts on the NASDAQ short. We are nicely green in this account. And we're going to try to let this break down here. But it could be a choppy day today, guys. It could be a choppy day. But we are up enough to be okay with it. Maybe I'll add to this a little bit more. We got a nice drop. Let me make sure there's no news out that might be influencing my position here. I mean, whatever this is, I'm going to take some off here just to lock in some early profits on the day. I did say the UK MTO reported that the captain of a bulk carrier said he was approached by a small boat with a black hole and 7 armed individuals. So this is an incident 92 miles north south, or 92 miles southwest of Mukalla. Yeah, that's right.
Which is in Yemen.
Yeah.
Everybody listening.
Also, BYD, which is kind of a competitor to Tesla and more, reported record high overseas sales of 130,000 units in April. Pentagon, yeah, we saw that already. All right, so I'm in this short. I saw something that Matthew said earlier. He said, I'm starting to see a majority of stock market YouTubes. Brit just hung up. I'm starting to see a majority of Brit's back. I'm starting to see a majority of stock market YouTubers call for a blow-off top rally. Be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. Do you guys agree with that here? Yeah. Yeah, that's correct to circumvent congressional approval. I can't hear you at all. You can't hear me?
No, I mean, like, you sound like you're incredibly far away, like down a hallway or something.
Am I loud enough, chat? Okay, there we go.
It does that every time I cut out and come back. I don't know if I cut out or if you muted me or whatever, but every time that happens for like the first 30 seconds, I can't hear you very well.
No, I definitely didn't mute you or cut you out. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know. I secretly did it, Britt. Just like the government secretly using NVIDIA and Microsoft AI. You know, they're building secret AI systems. I secretly muted you, Britt, today.
Yeah, I love that they're secretly doing it all over X.
Right. I would say it's on the same scale. It's on the same scale.
It is. The subterfuge is amazing.
Yeah. Next week we do have some earnings as well. So if we look at the earnings. So I am writing this down here. I don't know what to do. I'm already up really nicely. Do I add to this chat? I don't know. Like, I'm already up about $800 in this funded account. I started last week. So we'll see if this holds. But we're at the bottom of the range here. I'm just going to cut it and wait now, I think. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my little scroller here. I had my scroller to the top, the cool looking scroller. I don't know what happened to it, guys. But yeah, Trump did say the blockade is having an incredible effect. He did do a press conference yesterday.
Sorry.
Yeah. CBOE is going to slash 20% of its staff in a bid to focus on core business, according to the Wall Street Journal. Maybe I should have held this short, though, on the NASDAQ, because, look, here we are. We're at 27,540s. Here, 27,540s. I lost the chat. There's the chat. After taxes, you're up $200. Hey, $200 is $200, bro. You both sound fine on stream? Okay, good. Yeah, the big story, obviously, Apple. I think a lot of people are going to be watching Apple. It had a nice move up. It gave some of it back, and now it's back up to 280s for Apple here. So Apple is obviously one of the big moves that markets are making, potentially. Is the stock top in? You hear some people worried about a blow-off top, like, or a rejection here at these highs. Is it time to short?
Is a blow-off top like a pressure valve situation in the market?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so oil is, I'm reading what Pawn said. Oil and the NASDAQ both dropping simultaneously. Oil is at 104s. 104s. NASDAQ's trying to, you know. So blow off top is basically as the name suggests, where like we're pushing up a lot, and we're pushing up so strong, and then we have like a big correction to the downside. I did see news that the Iranian foreign minister says he spoke with counterparts of Turkey, Egypt, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Azerbaijan. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing. Azerbaijan. Yes, sorry. They conveyed the latest positions and initiatives of Iran regarding the end of the war and the aggression of America-Israel. So, how long will this conflict last, chat? I see a top coming June-ish summer. We need to close the gap in case. Yeah, and here's oil still dipping down. Here's the NASDAQ. So we can watch the S&P here, actually. Let's look at the S&P.
Still don't give it more than a couple of months, personally, at the most.
Yeah, it's Friday. It's May Day. A lot of Europe is closed today. And so, but yeah, look at Roblox. So Roblox got beat up overnight. They beat EPS and revenues. But they slashed their guidance and missed on user data. Is the whole story. So in January 26th, they implemented age verification across the entire platform. So every user had to verify their age before they can chat, message, or communicate. It's a child safety move, but it crushed their numbers short term. DAUs came in at 132 million versus 143 million plus expected. They missed by nearly 12 million users. The second consecutive quarterly decline in users, which is really interesting. You know what my son said 2 years ago about Roblox? He was watching my stream and we asked him, we said, hey, Jack, you play Roblox. What do you think about it? And he said he think Roblox is going to lose steam over time and lose interest and go down. This was when it was at $80 a share. He said it would be about 50% of what it was. And as of today, it is 50% of what it was. So shout out to Jack. I'm going to have him on stream soon, maybe. But cool. with that said, the actual numbers for Roblox were okay. Outside of the user numbers, like the profit numbers were decent. Give me Meta at 500, Alex. Meta. Yeah, Meta might hit 500 soon. Here's the NASDAQ. Yeah, I'm going to put 4 charts up, I think, here and look at all of them so I don't have to keep scrolling back from. Here's the oil. Would y'all like one big chart up and really hyper focus on each individual, or 4 charts up that we can watch simultaneously? Let me know in chat right now. What do you guys think? Here's the S&P here. I can put
one and then let us decide. I think probably 4, to be honest.
Yeah, here's Apple. Here's Sandisk. I want to keep an eye on Sandisk too. It's partly why I'm doing this. What do you guys think, chat? 4 charts. Okay, 4. All right. See, most people are like, yo, put 4 charts up, dude. I get it.
Yeah.
5+ years of Iran war unless the president allows midterms without.
Nah.
Feel like we need to watch them all at the moment. 14 charts. 1 chart. 1, 4.
2.5.
Yeah.
Go with a fraction. Actually, that's a decimal, but
yeah, Roblox lobbies are sketchy.
You know what I mean. Listen to what I mean, not what I say.
Yeah. Watch what Britt does, not what he says. Sandisk small dump. Is it time to buy Sandisk though here, dude? Sandisk killed it with their earnings. Just to put this into perspective, like I did a short on this. Sandisk earnings were freaking wild, dude. Sandisk earnings were freaking wild. Like I did a short yesterday on this. Like, look, I'm just to show you guys my short here. This is a face only a mother could love here, guys. A face only a mother could love right here. Hold on. Let me unmute this so you guys can hear it. Make sure it's not too loud though. Yeah. Absolutely killed it with their. Yeah, there we go. All right, look. A face only mother could love. But look. Earnings, they ended up posting 23.41 EPS versus 14.43 expected, and revenue came in over expected as well at 5.95 billion versus 4.69 billion expected. Now, their first reaction was actually a negative reaction. They dropped down to about $1,000 a share. Maybe it's Yeah. It's the sell news event. Maybe it ends up rebounding moving forward, but the next few days could get crazy for it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so crazy numbers for Sandisk yesterday, honestly. Absolutely wild numbers. 23 something. I prefer 4 to 5 to trade. It's a little calmer for me. Roblox has a crazy following. Sandisk is going down soon. Supermicro Semiconductors did too. Is Sandisk cooking earnings? I think they're just making a lot because of the super crazy high memory prices. I don't think they're cooking earnings. I think everybody acknowledged that memory prices are freaking obscene right now. And so, shorten the Apple chart. Yeah, I got you.
What do you think will bring memory prices back down? Just time and efficiency of technology with AI?
Yeah. I mean, as AI grows, it's supply and demand, so memory prices might keep rising, but they're at such crazy levels right now. I just assume they're going to come back down eventually. You know,
because the market eventually can't bear the price.
Well, it's just too much too soon, but maybe not. You know, it is one of those things where who freaking knows, you know. Yeah. But they're wild. I bought memory less than a year ago, and it was wild when I bought it. I remember buying it being like, what the heck is this, bro? Like, freaking, it was like $800 for two 32 gig RAM sticks. Or, yeah.
Maybe there's just more competitors to break into the field, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, competition usually breeds, well, I mean, historically breeds lower prices.
Sure, yeah. But just wild, you know. Yeah. Buy order not high enough for a short on Sandisk. Intel. Isn't expected just a made up guesstimate? No, it's different than that. It's a really good made up guesstimate. Sandisk has a bright future. The demand is extremely strong through 2030 due to AI and data center growth. Yeah, I mean, AI is going to grow a lot of this stuff pretty quickly, you know.
Yeah, I'm curious what new markets and technologies will come from AI. What new sectors will grow?
Well, I think when we look at AI objectively, we have to look at it. There's a lot of different ways we have to look at it, right? The main one is that it's obviously going to cause more software, more tech. That's the first thing. It's obviously going to, like, the natural consequence of AI is going to be more tech, better tech. I saw a thing yesterday where it was an AI system that allows you to build your own games, like online multiplayer games, and it does it very, very, very quickly. And so you can basically just give it an idea for a game, and it'll create a base model of that game for you. And you can invite your friends to it, and then you and your friends can play that game that AI built for you very quickly, very quickly. And that is absolutely wild right now. That's absolutely wild. Like 6 years ago, dude, that would be in somebody's dreams. Like, nobody's going to think that they could do that 6-7 years ago. I said the numbers. I can't believe it. But nobody's going to believe that. You know, nobody's going to believe that, you know, 7+ years ago.
Might see a super influx of indie games, huh?
Yeah, no, that's probably what you're going to see. And you're also going to see video games get better, right? And again, you can look at that in not just video games. You can look at that in social media. You can look at that on websites, online applications, software, you know, mobile apps. That's going to be true everywhere, and it already is at this point in time. Like, if you look at, here's an easy way to look at it. If you look at people's overlays on YouTube, they're way better too. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, today we're doing a little minimalist thing, but my overlays have gotten really good. You know why? Because AI builds that shit quickly. Like, it builds it fast. Like, I can tell it to build me whatever I want, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you could take credit, but AI would probably hunt you down later on once it actually becomes sentient.
Right, 100%. Yeah. But with that said, we're gonna build all kind of crazy stuff from AI now. It's just obviously true. Anybody that and this is, you know, again, 5-6 years ago, people doubted this. They said, no, you know, AI is not that good. You know, people like to take the same argument. It's the same argument, and I think it's just because they fear AI. Like, I think they fear it, and so they don't want this to be true. And I get it. You know, I fear it to a certain extent, to be honest, because it's honestly changing the world in a huge freaking way. But they always say the same thing. They isolate a weak spot in AI, and then that's the only thing they'll talk about. They'll be like, oh, well, you know, AI might be able to build programs in freaking 30 seconds, you know, build online applications and mobile applications in 30 seconds, build video games in a minute. You know, they might be able to do all those things, but they can't reference data very well, you know? And so it's like, you gotta, yes, they have weak spots. Those weak spots are definitely going to get better over time. And, yeah, it's going to take over everything.
Yeah. those gaps in the skill set will close eventually.
Right, 100%. Yeah, the people who are most creative right now with AI are the people that are going to get rich. 100%. People that are the most creative with it are the ones that are going to get rich. That's what it is. It's creativity right now, is what it is. The most creative people out there are going to be the ones that build the coolest stuff that other people haven't thought about, and be the first in those markets, and those markets are going to grow, and they're going to be at the front of it, and it's just going to go like that, right? It has to do with creativity at this point in time, really. If we're looking at it honestly, creativity is what's driving this. Okay, I got you, Sam. Today, remind me sometime today. I don't think it's fear. It's the fact that more than half aren't real AI or machine learning, but just advanced logic. Sure, but it doesn't matter what they are. It matters what they're doing. And what they're doing is they're causing an exponential growth in technology. Is what they're doing. And you could argue that's good or bad. Again, I'm not really there to pick a side there. I think some of it's good and some of it's bad, of course. I grew up pre-smartphones. I grew up pre-cell phones, really.
Well, right at the advent, really, because
yeah, I don't want to age myself too much and talk, too much. But sorry, Brad, go ahead.
It's okay. I just remember our first friend to get a cell phone, and he was paying for it himself, but got it when he was like 15, and we were about 13, I think, and it was one of those old school Nokia bricks that you just couldn't break,
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we were on the advent of that stuff.
Which friend was it? Give me his first letter.
R.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, do you remember when I got a phone for my birthday? I got a cell phone for my birthday one year.
I remember that. I know what you're going to say. Go ahead and tell the story.
I got a cell phone for my birthday. I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm in my friend's GSR. I go to get out the passenger side seat of that GSR. And my phone falls out my pocket. And he runs it over as he drives off. Just crunch. And I'm like, oh no. This was back when
it was brand new. It was like a $300 phone at the time.
Yeah, brand new. Destroyed.
It was an awesome burnt orange flip phone.
It was cool, man. It was cool. I think we had insurance on it though, but Sandisk just popped up to 1030s.
Just so you know, he did it on purpose.
Yeah. The pager. I never had a pager.
I did. when I was like 13 or 14, my dad would send me to the pool with a pager, like, just in case I need to get in touch with you for emergencies. Like, hey, just let me go to the pool.
Yeah. This is childish talking to a hidden friend. I guess so. I mean, I don't know what's childish about it. I don't know what's childish about it. But maybe it is childish.
If I was visible.
Is this childish, guys? Is talking to Brit without, is this childish? Let me know. I don't understand it. Maybe he got what he wanted. I acknowledged it. Maybe he got what he wanted. Yeah, it's AI, guys. It's AI. Listen.
I mean, gotcha. You guys have the opinion that John has an imaginary friend that's come to life. It's like Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's right. That's what this is. It's AI. That's right. Is this childish, guys? Let me know. So you're 5 years older than me, Sam? Maybe Brit is AI. Childish Gambino?
I mean, yeah, maybe we're playing pretend, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, look, Apple popping back higher here. Apple's at 281.80s right now. So Apple's at 281.80s. Look at Apple right here. So Apple's going back up. Let's see if it holds.
You're right, Java Man. I exist in the ether.
Right. I mean, never mind.
Don't worry about it.
I'm John's age for sure. Some of you guys probably know.
I'd be willing to bet that you guys are either older than John or younger, or possibly the same age.
Y'all could be the same age exactly, but that's pretty rare, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I can't remember what the name of the AI game creator is. I saw it, but I can't remember what it was. You can probably Google it.
Don't you call me Brittany.
Good morning, fine gentlemen. What's up, Trinity? John has unlocked AGI and is testing it for us. Listen, that's what we're here for. All right, guys. So we did have the Bank of England's economist Pill, which was one of the dissenters and voted for a 25 basis point hike for the Bank of England. He said there's high uncertainty about how far the energy inflation shock will spread. Yeah, I hear these economists talk, right? I hear these economists speak, I should say. And they're saying really obvious things. And they're acting like there's some deep meaning behind them. Of course, there's uncertainty about where energy prices are going right now. Of course, there's uncertainty. Of course, nobody knows when the conflict is going to end, where gas prices are going to end up at the end of the year, where oil prices are going, where the inflation is going, considering the Iran conflict. Nobody knows. There is uncertainty there. Everybody knows there's uncertainty. And honestly, frankly, I get kind of tired of reading these because,
they don't really, they're not backed up by anything.
Well, they don't really mean anything. Of course there's uncertainty right now.
Yeah, I love when people try to sound deep, like, especially on social media platforms. Like, sometimes you're wrong, but even when you're wrong, you're actually right. Shit like that.
Right, 100%. I did see that the Treasury Department is intensifying the expansion of economic wrath campaigns against Iran to beyond traditional sanctions, according to Al Jazeera report citing a Trump admin official. What are your thoughts on the World Cup and the impact it will have on the economy? I'm not a big soccer guy, so I hate to say it. And I know we have a lot of people that are watching from overseas. With that said, where are you guys from this morning? Where are you guys from? I know we got a lot of people watching from overseas. But I'm not a soccer guy or a football guy. I can respect that y'all are like, yo, this is football. I get it.
It's the most popular sport in the world.
I know.
I don't watch it that much, but I do enjoy watching it from time to time because I actually did play it for like 8 years. And I loved it. And honestly, unless you played it, you don't really get how fun it is or the technical stuff behind it.
Right, for sure. Fairbanks, Arkansas, Boston, Chi-Town, UK, Austria, England, Cali, Estonia, Puerto Rico, Florida, Missouri, Japan, Missouri, Planet Florida, chilling in Sicily, Montreal, Boston, Arkansas.
Hey, my family's from Sicily.
We also had Hong Kong. We see our Iran, but I don't know if that's really where they're from. Romania, Quebec, Fairbanks, Illinois. Yeah, I can't tell if Hedge Fudge is lying here, Maybe not. I'm sure we got some. Australia, Finland, Cali, New York, Jersey. What's up, guys? Good morning. I appreciate it. Y'all, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. I appreciate it. Everything we do here is live. We do it for free. You're welcome. We're here for you today. We're here for you. Ontario. I lived in Ontario, Canada.
Stuff is either full of bull or he's way high up in the North Korean regime to have a computer.
He's full of it right now for sure.
I know. I think he says something different every time.
Like I said, Stuff. I appreciate you being active in the chat, but I also don't trust you because we had a giveaway one day that you participated in, and then when it came time to give you, the account, silence, crickets. Never heard from you again. Until you showed up in the chat the next day. So you won a giveaway, didn't show up to take the prize, and now I'm watching you, bro. I am watching you, dude, right now.
Wait, you got to do the pointing at the eyes and then pointing at the screen thing.
Right. Right. I'm watching you right now, bro. That mixed with him always saying he's from these wild different places, Yeah, how long until gas prices stabilize under $75 a barrel is a really good question here for oil. So oil, and we're talking about WTI crude right now. WTI crude at 104.40s. But when do you guys think this stabilizes under $75 a barrel? Yeah. What do you guys think this stabilizes under? Again, I would say under.
I don't know. Maybe a couple weeks to a month after the conflict is over, just to be sure that it's not going to start up again. Maybe.
Yeah, I think when we get the initial news of the conflict ending, whatever that looks like, I think maybe
we'll see some dips.
Right, I think we'll see some pullbacks for sure, down to like the 70s probably. With that said, though, It doesn't mean they're going to stay down there. But maybe they do. Maybe they do. I see a lot of people saying 2 years, 2027. We just hit a head and shoulders on WTI. What's up, Universal Code? Under 100, under 90. Never ends. You think oil's going to stay over 75 forever? I have no visible means of support. I'm assuming you're talking about in oil. I think it'll be years before we see pre-war prices.
I don't believe that.
I don't know. I think it depends on what the deal looks like. Like the conflict could end, right? But it depends on what the deal actually looks like. Because okay, if the deal ends, but Iran's trying to still control the strait, that's still not good for oil, and it doesn't really, Now, again, WTI is U.S. crude, so it's a little bit different. It's not the same thing as Brent. Brent is much higher than this. Brent's at about 114s this morning. WTI is, sweet crude or light crude. It's a different mix. But still, if it depends on what the end of the conflict looks like, of course. Sandisk flew up, guys. So here's Sandisk. I see somebody saying what's going on with Sandisk. Sandisk flew yesterday, just flew crazy. And again, we do have ISM PMI data today. So we do have ISM PMI. And yeah.
Let's see.
I think no deal until the end of this year. No deal. So you really think it's going to last that long? You really think this conflict is going to last that long where we don't have a deal until the end of the year?
I just don't think it's going to end up in a deal. I think the conflict is going to briefly intensify. We're going to
take it over.
Boots on the ground. Take the enriched material. Possibly take control of the oil and the strait. I don't see an end to this where Iran is still in control of the strait. I don't think the international community at large is going to allow it. Not just us. It's not stable.
No, for sure. I think. Yeah.
And they're trying to split control with Oman. I believe it's Oman. And I just don't think we're going to allow that.
Do you guys agree with that? Put yes or no in chat right now. Do you guys agree with that? Also, I haven't done an actual poll today. I realize I haven't done an actual poll today. Let's do one right now. Do you guys agree with that? Put yes or no in chat right now. Let's do a poll. What's a good poll? Let's just do a poll of when does this conflict end? I'm gonna do 1 month.
And if that sounded kind of uppity, it was not intended to come across that way.
3 months plus. 3 months plus. We'll do 6 months plus.
I don't think they're going to play nice either, but I don't think they have the capabilities that they're alluding to. I mean, they might dump oil in the strait or something. That would be terrible. But other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, so we're pretty split on whether they agree with you, Britt. Most people are saying, or it's actually pretty split. I see no, yes. Iran isn't going to play nice. Yes. Boots on the ground may be needed. No. Iran is toast. The market knows it. No. Yes. 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 That would be nuts. Tomorrow, before elections for sure. No, the U.S. don't have 1 million troops.
They don't need it.
Yeah. I agree with half of what Britt said. Oman is indeed the other half of the strait. 20 years like Iraq? I don't think so. At least I hope. I mean, obviously, I hope. We just did the poll. You can vote on the poll right now regarding this and when the conflict ends. Honestly, our votes are pretty split here down the middle. Like, our votes are pretty split here down the middle. When does the conflict end? 25% say a month. 20% say 3 months. 24% say 6 months. 33% say it's going to last over 9 months. So the majority of people here on the poll think it's going to last over 9 months. Which would be the end of the year, obviously, so.
Yeah. And they did live under sanctions for a long time, but the whole time they were still selling arms and oil out the back door to whoever would buy it. Like that's not happening right now, at least not to the same extent that it was.
Yeah, no,
their money supply is effectively cut off right now.
No, that makes sense. And they as much as they're acting like they're fine, they're struggling at least a little bit from everything going on. Like again, it's a public perception war. I always try to tell people this, but it really is a public perception war. Like everything going on right now is a public perception thing, right?
Well, again, they're running out of storage space. Like they literally had to reactivate a 30-year-old tanker just to have somewhere to put some more of their oil.
For sure.
most likely about to have to cap their wells if they haven't already.
No, for sure. Hold on one second.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, boots on the ground. I'm looking at the poll numbers. I'm thinking about trading the NASDAQ here. The NASDAQ is right at the 200 exponential here, guys. And you can see my P&L here. I'm trying to put the thing up where you can actually like watch my P&L as it goes on. But I'm going to take one short here. It's going to be a very small short in the NASDAQ right now. Again, use my coupon code BGT on Lucid, Apex, wherever you want to use it. Use it. Great way to help support the channel. There's no PDT in futures. Here's Lucid right here. It gets you the max discount. BGT. BGT. I am shorting this small. We actually are pretty green on the day so far. Here's the link for Lucid if you want to check it out. Most day traders lose. It's a perfect middle ground of like learning. Like instead of funding your own account thousands of dollars, you can try it for like, I think the base one, if you use my link, is like $70 on Lucid. You pass it, you get a 25K funded account, 90% split, 10-to-1 micro scaling allowed. You can take, you know, their payouts are big. Hold on real quick though. I am in one very small trade, but the range is so small today. The range is so small today, but we did just rip over the 200 exponential here. I want to see if we reject back down underneath it. I'll actually like a short a little bit more. If we do, but I do have to kind of chill and wait some here. So we'll see what happens. Should I take this trade, guys? Should I take this trade? I'm probably going to cut it for a very, very small loss here though.
I don't know.
I'm going to cut it. I'm going to get out. I just don't like the way it ripped over this. Looking at the volume profile, which I probably should have analyzed before this, we got kind of a higher volume area. And if we start to get over this and really hold, yeah, we'll see.
Also, I just want to say, I hope you guys aren't taking all this too seriously. I just enjoy talking with you guys, getting your opinions on things, you know?
Yeah. What's up, SH? He said, what's up, guys? New to the stream, subscribe. Thank you, my friend. I also got an email from Uncle Nelly yesterday. Which trading firm do you recommend? I like Lucid a lot. At the same time, I always try to preface it like, yes, I promote them, but most traders are going to lose money. You know, most traders are going to lose. So if you're brand new in futures trading, I would not go into it like, yo, I'm going to get rich. I would go into it with like, yo, I'm probably going to lose money here. And that's okay. Take it slow, trade really, really small. This is what I'm doing with Brit as well. You know, I got Brit a 25K Lucid challenge. And I told him, trade micros, trade the MNQ. Don't trade the NQ. Don't trade the ES. Trade the MNQ and the MES if you want to trade indices. And understand you're still probably going to freaking lose. But it's very small size with the MNQ. So I like Lucid. If you're brand new, Take Profit's pretty good as well. I'll throw the Take Profit link up if you want to check it out. Take Profit's actually probably one of the best ones for beginners. And so, yeah. And yeah, if you want to check out Take Profit, there's the link for that as well. But again, they're an affiliate of mine. I'm biased. I get paid by them. So I'm naturally just biased in their favor, of course. Yeah, but look at this big rip on the NASDAQ. Looks like I got out in time. We get over some of these levels, we might have some room for a trade up to like maybe 595, 600s here. But there's bulls are starting to get back into control. I'm trying to make sure we're not there's no catalyst. There's no news here. Let me check. Yeah, and one of the things or go ahead, Britt.
I was gonna say I'm just kind of tooling around with the platform, learning how to use it. I sure like candlesticks better than bars. It's a lot easier to follow.
Oh yeah, candlesticks are better.
But
all right, so no, we got a couple of stories that just dropped. Okay, a couple things. Let's go over them. The first one is that the Pentagon tech chief says Anthropic is still blacklisted, but Mythos is a separate issue, according to CNBC. So still having issues with Anthropic, which is Claude and others. Iran is rejecting the U.S. self-defense claim. So Iran has sharply dismissed U.S. justification for its involvement in the conflict, calling it absolutely not self-defense and instead a, quote, an act of aggression. A U.S. State Department statement argued the action supports Israel and counter threats from Iran's missile program and potentially nuclear ambitions. Iran rejects this, saying no attack was made to justify self-defense and accusing Washington of misleading the world. Tehran continues to deny pursuing nuclear weapons, noting that international inspectors have found no evidence of a weapons program despite long-standing claims to the contrary. And so, yeah, we also had the Fed's Hammock speaking. He said he dissented against the Fed keeping an easy bias in a statement. He said inflation pressures are broad-based, energy driving up prices. Fed's clear easing bias no longer appropriate given outlook. He said the economy has been resilient so far in 2026. He sees upside inflation risks, downside job market risks, uncertainty around the economy, and the policy path has risen. He also said the Fed should signal the next move may be a hike or cut, which could be an interesting dynamic here. He warns oil shocks could force rate hikes. He said, again, the Fed should flag potential rate hikes due to risks tied to the Strait of Hormuz. Basically, higher oil, higher inflation. Remember, guys, just to give you guys some understanding about this, and hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about here, but hold on. But to give you guys some understanding here, the Federal Reserve has their dual mandate. Their job is to maintain balance, right? And so what they're doing is they're trying to maintain balance between different things going on. And so ultimately what they're going to be trying to do usually is keep a strong economy and low inflation. Those are two sides of their dual mandate. If the economy is too weak, they can bring interest rates down. If it's really, really weak and we're heading towards a recession, they can print and do quantitative easing, expand their balance sheet, inject liquidity. But that causes inflation. On the other end of that, if inflation's a big, profound risk, they can raise interest rates, which is what Kashkari is talking about here. He's talking about raising interest rates to kind of push down the inflation that we might potentially get from this Iran conflict, right? You raise rates, people spend less, businesses expand less, and ultimately it pushes things down, it pushes spending down, and that slows inflation. It doesn't make inflation literally go down, because the best thing we can really ultimately hope for is a slowdown to inflation, not a go down in inflation. The only time inflation literally goes down is if we actually enter recessions, usually, in general. There's always outliers if you look at history, but they don't last very long, even if we do get small dips to the actual inflation. If inflation actually goes negative or to zero, it doesn't last long, and it usually ends up popping right back up. So that's what Kashkari is talking about here. And so, yeah, he basically said he dissented because of the easing bias in the Fed, So. I got this news, Britt, from a couple different sources. I'll tell you. I'll show you. He's speaking right now. He's been speaking for the last 5 minutes. Social media.
All right.
Yeah, but essentially, again, Hammock said the forward guidance signals pause, not pivot. Economic outlook is uncertain. Future path for monetary policy now more uncertain, and that maybe we should signal rate hikes next meeting. Do you guys agree with Kashkari? Or I'm sorry, Hammock. So we have Kashkari speaking and Hammock. I'm sorry. Kashkari is speaking. Hammock is speaking. Kashkari is really the one pushing for rate hikes potentially. We are, in my opinion, we are past due for a recession. Yeah, the last real recession was. I mean, look, it depends on what you define it. Realistically, we hit we hit two negative GDP quarters back to back. What was it? Was it 2022?
I think it was 2022. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
I might be wrong, but I think it was 2022.
And yeah, I think Biden said we would have to have high unemployment. And that it wasn't a real recession because, and again, whether it was or whether it wasn't, I go by the technical definition, and going by the technical definition, we did hit it was a very small recession in 2022. We ended up bouncing back very quickly regarding GDP. Like we had two negative quarters and then we jumped back up pretty quickly. So I would still call it technically it was a recession. But it was a very, very short one, a very, very short one.
It was minor, and like you said, short, but at the time, I didn't appreciate people kind of skating over it like, oh, that's not true,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it was a different dynamic back then. Back then we were in the middle of, we had lockdowns, and then we had, supply chain and inflation was crazy, and
maybe it was one of those things where, in the situation, it wasn't bad enough to be considered one, considering how bad everything could have been.
It was one, but it wasn't a big one, I think is the point.
I
they made it really political. I'm not rooting for either side of the political spectrum here in those moments. I just think it technically was, but it was a very small one. The last real one with that in mind, the last big one was 2007. 2007 was a big one, lasted a long time, obviously negatively impacted things. And so.
That was the housing bubble pop, right?
Yeah, so basically what happened in 2007 was that
bunch of bad loans got called in.
Yeah, well, the mortgage market grew to just this wild level where they were giving out loans way too freely, way too risky loans, way too many risky loans were going out, and over time, that hold on real quick, something just happened here. Something just happened. Look at the NASDAQ. I think something just happened, right? It's got to be. Look at the NASDAQ fall here right now. So something just happened. Hold on. Novo will launch Ozempic tablets in the U.S. on May 4th. Kashkari stated that before the war, inflation was expected to drop, justifying another rate cut this year. However, March events did not significantly change the policy statement. Maybe
price surge could threaten inflation expectations, possibly forcing the Fed to raise rates.
Yeah, I mean, I see the thing about Kashkari. It could be just, I don't really see anything too crazy here going on. Maybe we're just dumping under the 200 exponential. If you guys see any news, let me know. But I don't see anything too wild going on here to influence markets. Do you guys see any...
Corp is worried that global oil supplies are running dry as the U.S.-Israel war with Iran enters its third month. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean...
Maybe. I mean, it's the only thing that I see that might be doing what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I see 3 or 4 red candles. It's caused by me going short. Yeah, I mean, look, we're getting some significant pullbacks here. Look how fast we're dropping right now. So something's going on. I don't see any catalysts. Let me check Truth Social. That's the first thing I should do.
I always forget to pull Truth up, honestly. I don't know why.
Yeah.
One of the most relevant ones.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think he tweeted, so that's always like the first step. I don't...
No, not since 10 hours ago.
Yeah, that was the last one. Outside of that, maybe the Novo thing. Let me see what Novo's doing. Novo's going up. Let me see, NVIDIA, Apple. Apple's not really going down in any super profound way. Sandisk either. NVIDIA. NVIDIA dropped a little bit, but not a crazy amount here. But market just turned red here, chat. Turned red. I should have stayed in my short, really, realistically. I see somebody say that Conversation Starter is trading a form of illness. Fair to say 800 people in chat. Nobody here makes any money. I mean, I do not think that's true at all, brother. Of course some people here make money, dude. I don't know if he's just trying to like attack the stream or whatever. Either way, like, you'll be all right, bro. You know. I think people want to.
It might have just been a hypothetical. I mean, he might not be trying to start anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could be referencing 95% of people lose day trading, because this is just objectively true. But my channel's not just about day trading. We cover Sandisk, we cover Apple, we cover earnings, we cover investing, we cover swing trading, we trade futures, we trade stocks, we watch crypto. You know, it's not like we're just day trading. You know, day traders are really the ones that lose money, realistically. That's why I always tell people, like, try prop firms, because funding your own account thousands of dollars, you know.
We have fun here. We cover all kinds of stuff, including like Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, you know?
Yeah, right, for sure.
Just butter.
Time to get a payout, start another eval. You know what movie I loved that everybody hated, bro?
The Quest.
Street Fighter, dude. Everybody freaking hated that movie, bro.
It was a bad movie, but I loved it too.
As a kid, I was into it, dude. I was freaking into it. I was like, you know what? This is real. This is real. The acting's great, I would say, you know.
So I very much enjoyed it. But remember the guy that played Bison, Raul Julia?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so just a little bit of a tidbit,
hold on.
not a fun. Okay.
Yeah, so Iranians brace for war's return, according to CNN. Maybe this is moving things. So many Iranians say the ceasefire failed. Whoa.
What?
Look at this candle, guys. Something just happened here. Something just happened. We don't have any economic data today. Something just happened. Look at that candle. Let me check Truth.
Oh. Man, I was 10 seconds behind.
Yeah. Well, I don't see anything, but this is definitely a catalyst. This candle right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody see this? Wow.
I see it.
It's definitely not the end of the war. The end of the war would be a much bigger move, to be honest. This is, Iran delivered on Thursday to the U.S. through Pakistani mediators its response to the latest U.S. amendments on agreement to end the war, regional source said. This is the news breaking. So this is the news. Yeah, this is the news today. Is Iran is sending Again, we got the news right here. So Iran is delivering on Thursday. We'll put it up in chat right now and then put it on the screen. This is the news right here. You can see the news right here. So this is the news. Wow. Honestly, this is making things fly up, dude. Look at this move here. Whoa. Wow. 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 27,600s right now, guys. Crazy move right now. Crazy move.
Where's the all-time high? Previous.
Here, hold on. I'm trying to check breaking news here to see why this, but this is Iran sending proposal to end the, you know.
My God.
Wow, dude. This is a big move, too.
Why didn't you go long, John?
Crazy. Crazy. Good thing I got out of that short, guys. Good thing I got out of that short. Again, an Iranian diplomatic source told Tehran presented a new proposal yesterday to Pakistani mediators. So it sent its latest proposal to Pakistani mediators. Wow. Look at this move here, chat. Sheesh, dude. This is a big move. Again, Iran delivered on Thursday to the U.S. through Pakistani mediators its response to the latest U.S. amendments on the agreement to end the war, according to Axios, citing sources. Wow. That's a big move. Oil, I'm sure, is dumping down here. Yeah, oil, if we take a look at it, like a smaller chart here, look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is now officially green on the day. Oil is starting to fade down to 103.40s here. But, man, what a spike. Is this too big of a move here, though, guys? Is this too big of a move?
I was going to say, does it keep climbing, and would it maybe be a good time to short?
Again, yeah, something. Yeah, I don't know. Again, Iran has presented a new proposal to the U.S. through mediators from Pakistan. So again, they sent their latest proposal to U.S. to Pakistan mediators through Pakistan mediators, according to Axios reporter. So again, Iran presented fresh proposals. The issue here, though, is that what are the details in this here? What are the details in this? What are the details in this report? So yeah, they delivered their, on Thursday to the U.S. through Pakistani mediators its response to the latest U.S. amendments on the agreement to end the war, according to Axios. That's great and fine. That's cool. The problem is that what does it say? What does it say? Are they still holding on to their nuclear ambitions? Is really the question here. Because if they are, this doesn't mean anything. Unless the U.S. Unless the U.S. is gonna, accept a deal. Unless the U.S. is going to accept a deal without it.
That involves them keeping their processed material. I doubt it.
Right. No, 100%. And oil is down, so oil is fading down here, man. Do I short this? I think maybe I do here, bro. Hold on, let's try it. I'm going to jump in short. 3 contracts. I think this is an overreaction, personally. Unless we get details soon, I think this is an overreaction. We are in this. We are green now. As long as they don't rip back up on a bounce. Do you guys think this is an overreaction here? I'm going to take one off just to protect. Just because we got so green so quickly here. But I'm shorting this as a potential overreaction. What do you guys think? Is this an overreaction? I think so. I personally think so.
Probably.
I think it's just too big of a move for something like that. Because really, honestly, earlier this morning, much earlier this morning, we already knew this. So early this morning, I saw a catalyst that said Pakistan expects Iran to present a new proposal to the Trump administration today, according to the Jerusalem Post-Stein reporting. So we already knew this was coming. We already knew this is coming. And I covered this morning earlier on the stream. So, yeah, I think it's just a big overreaction.
Fighting to stay up there, though.
Don't copy me. I'm not an investment professional here, guys. But, it's definitely risky what I'm doing here. But we've already scaled out of a couple of these already anyway. And maybe I'm going to cut it just to limit my risk. I'm going to hold one. I can hold this one a little bit. I'm going to take one off here and just sit on one.
Believe that when I see it.
Will this hold, guys? Yes, steep. Obviously, yes, it is an overreaction. I do think it's an overreaction. I'm shorting too. Yes, it's an overreaction. I'm with you, John. Send it. But yeah, the news is kind of wild here, man. It's kind of wild. Again, we already knew this was happening. Again, just to show you guys this, at 4:46 this morning here. At 4:46 this morning, I read this right here. 4:46, Pakistan expects Iran to present a new proposal to the Trump administration today. So, we already knew they were going to do this. And so the market reacting in such a bullish way, could be algos, could be insider trading, really. You know, but unless we get details of this report that makes it seem optimistic, I'm skeptical, personally. I'm skeptical. So yeah, Iran sending a response to the U.S. regarding updated peace agreements. It's good for, you know, I would say it's decent for like we're still sending each other proposals, which is good. We're still talking, which is good. You know, it looks optimistic, but we're not there yet just because they send us a proposal here. That's my take on it. But maybe I'm wrong. You know, markets are at all-time highs. Bulls want a reason to run. We already took some profit in this, but I am skeptical here.
I think it's just a facade both sides are presenting to the world, to be honest with you. Like it's beginning to look like a farce to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I mean, I think they're doing it for the try to win the PR war and to try to keep things stable, but
right. No, for sure. It's an overreaction. Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah. The timing of this news seems planned and intentional. Well, we got word, like I said earlier. We got word earlier that this was what it was. Yeah, so again, the breaking news is that Iran sent a new proposal here, and markets like the news. But we are green here. I might add more to this too and just scale into a larger position. On the volume profile, we got some room here. There we go. Let's see if we can short a little pop. All right, we're going to add some more to this. Maybe we run today from earnings, but I will add some more positions here. All right, we're at 6 contracts. Fearful when others are greedy, guys. Greedy when others are fearful. We'll see if that works out.
You think it's going to run sideways now or maybe run back down?
I have no idea, honestly.
I doubt it's going to go up.
I'm going to cut this now, probably here. We're pushing up too much. We've got a nice cushion to this account regardless, but that's a big green candle too. Let me see if we got any other news here. I was up 24% in April. I want to give it time to drop. I do think it's an overreaction, but I had to cut some of that position there just to protect it.
I just want to see if my charts
make our money back later.
I just want to see if my charts kind of in time with yours. Are you at 27,602-ish?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Just take profit and chill. Yeah, I think obviously the momentum's on the upside, but I'm just skeptical of this. I'm going to get out and wait now. You know, we're right over the previous closing price. Markets are pricing in potential optimism with everything going on is what this is. And so we'll give it a second and wait. But yeah, what a wild move here, dude. Big pop, dude. Big pop. Does this move hold today, guys? I'm going to do another poll now. And I think a reasonable poll the only reasonable thing to ask people here is, does this hold today, guys? Does this hold? I think you got 2 different paths this could go personally. I think you have, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. We cover all this stuff live for free. Every morning we're here covering the breaking news, trading live, hanging out. Subscribe, guys. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate the love. Thanks so much. We appreciate the love. Morning streams have grown a lot in the last 6 months, dude. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Probably because we've had more shit going on. More stuff. I'm sorry. I try not to curse here. You know, more stuff going on here. But
shame, John.
Yeah.
Hey,
I feel it. I feel it.
which silver ticker should I look at? Micro, or there's like 4 different ones.
In general, Britt, you as a new trader, you should be. I trade micros, especially on the NASDAQ. Do not buy a contract of the regular NASDAQ. All right, NASDAQ, with that said, look at the NASDAQ start to jump back up here. So the NASDAQ is starting to make a move back up to the upside here. Yes, it will hold. But Britt, the overarching...
Well, I was really asking which one you pull up when people ask you to.
The overarching logic is that if there is a micro contract, you want to trade that one.
Okay.
You know, that's the overarching logic. Like if there is a micro contract, trade it. Like, don't buy a regular contract here, guys.
No, I understand.
Yeah, and in terms of...
Sorry.
Go ahead, Britt.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking which one. When people ask about silver, which one do you pull up? Do you pull up the micros or the regular?
Well, when people ask about it, I'm just looking at it. I pull up regular. I just pull up like here's silver right now. All right, NASDAQ still ripping up. We might have gotten some details here. Look at the NASDAQ, guys. NASDAQ is at 27,623 here. 674s is the all-time high on the NQ. Here's the all-time high on the NQ, 674s. We're at 623s here. Look at silver. Silver's ripping up because gold's probably ripping up because the end of the conflict means potentially more easing, benefiting gold and silver. NASDAQ still popping higher here. But, yeah, let's check the breaking news here. The Iranian state media confirmed that they sent a new negotiation proposal to the U.S. through Pakistan mediators on Thursday, according to Iranian state media. So, yeah. Iran gave response to the latest U.S. amendments on the agreement, according to Axios. Yeah, NASDAQ still pumping up here. Pumping up. If Iran accepts a nuclear deal, will the U.S. consider Iran's Hormuz toll? I don't think so. I don't think there's any way. Honestly, I think getting the Strait of Hormuz back to normal might be more important than the nuclear aspect to the United States, because that's what's going to cause the most global pressure on them is the Strait of Hormuz situation. And if Iran starts charging tolls per ship, it's gonna be a deeper long-term mess for the world, and consequently, the U.S. is going to get more pressure. More pressure. Do you guys agree with that? Let me know. Gold up to 4,600s here, 4,600s. Yeah, look at oil here, though, guys. Oil is dumping down on this catalyst. 102.70s here, 102.70s. Yeah, do you guys agree with what I just said? Let me know. I think oil's the priority right now for us. We did a poll, when does this conflict end? 36% now say 1 month. So I think that it actually just pivoted back. Yeah. But man, interesting.
No, I agree with you. I think oil is the preeminent issue.
No, I don't agree, Iran. Iran will never be able to collect tolls. No, that's what I'm saying here. I'm saying they're not going to.
So either.
I don't think the world would allow it, to be honest, because too much of the world's oil, especially China, goes through the strait. And so, yeah, I do not think they're going to allow that.
Not just that, but if you start that there, where else might that happen?
Right.
No,
100%.
It's just a bad precedent.
Yeah.
Which.
All right, guys. So look, oil's starting to pop a little bit higher here, though. I still think we could be at a top. I might short again. We're basically flat on the day in this account now, and it's been a pretty good month. Like, here's last month. We started this account not that long ago, like last week or so, and we did pretty good on these. Like, pretty good. Like, our accuracy could have been a little bit better, but my profit graph was pretty solid, and the rate at which we grew was pretty good. So here is my P&L history of this account. Let me see when I started this thing. I started it on the 21st, right? So that's my P&L history on my main account that I'm trading right now. And so you can see we were red for a few weeks, or for like a week or so, but we traded small and we slowly kind of rebounded back up. And then last week we really kind of kicked it into high gear and started really trading. So yeah, we built it from negative $300 in profits to, $1,300 or whatever. So doing pretty good. I think it's cumulative though. So I think we're really up like under 1,000. Hey
Also-
John, I can't place a trade because it says I need real-time data through Apex. Had it. I was just trading last night. Yeah, I would reach out to Apex. I'm not sure, brother. Kato. Pumped up. It's just a matter of time. The underlying theme. Yeah, really interesting market today, guys. Really interesting context for markets here. And yeah, again, like I said, do me a favor, guys. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Also, guys, you can hang out with us on stream and also off stream. You know, you can hang out with us when the stream is over. Yeah, hang out with us in the Discord. Hang out with us when the stream is over. Join the Discord right here. I'll put the link up. Great way to help support the channel. We try to post a lot of the breaking news that we get, but join the Discord. Here's the link right here. Yeah, I'll put it to the top. You can check it out.
Hit the like button for us, please. We sure would appreciate it.
Yeah. Actually, let me remove this and do join our Discord, fools. There you go. Join our Discord. There it is.
Thanks for the advice, Sam. I appreciate it.
Is the momentum out? We're starting to slow down, but we have pushed up a lot in the NASDAQ on this news. I'm still waiting. You know, here's the thing, and this is what I think might potentially influence things now, is I think we should wait to see what the details were of this proposal. Because, you know, this proposal is all good and fine, but what are the details of this proposal? That is going to be the make or break it thing. Are they going to give up their nuclear ambitions? Number one. Are they going to keep trying to charge tolls on Hormuz? Is it a kind of give and take a little bit? Are they going to say, hey, we'll give up our nuclear if you let us charge tolls on the Strait? Or are they going to say the opposite? If you let us keep our nuclear, you can have the Strait. You know, I think those are big things to consider here. You know, just the vague aspect of, hey, you know, Iran sent us a proposal is good. Don't get me wrong. Is it as good as markets are pricing in at this point? You know, is it as good as market pricing?
Questions in order of in the order in which you ask them: no, yes, and no.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think maybe we still come back down a little bit. I'll wait and maybe get into another side of that trade. But unless we get details on this proposal that involves, you know, that involves them potentially doing the first one, giving up their nuclear ambitions, I still don't think we're going to go with it. This is just too much optimism short term, I think. I mean, oil's down. It's still elevated, though. It's at 102.70s for WTI crude.
And honestly, Sam, I did not consider all of those. No, I considered some of them, but some of them did not occur to me.
Yeah. I think it's more about the facts of ongoing talks and no further escalation at the moment. Yeah, that's what markets are pricing in, more optimism for sure. And so, yeah, we do have the congressional approval aspect of this. So, you know, that is probably weighing on this as well. Where's Bitcoin at? I'm sure Bitcoin might be popping higher here on this as well. Yeah, here's Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is moving up on this, specifically because Bitcoin wants easing, and an end to the conflict means more potential easing allowed here. You know, they're not going to do too much easing if the conflict is still going on because of the inflationary aspect of the conflict and oil prices. So more optimism to end the conflict means Bitcoin's popping up. It's almost to 78,000 here, 78K.
Wow. I'm not going to try to get into the jargon because I don't understand it, and to pretend that I do would just be a lie. But I've heard several constitutional lawyers, and again, I don't know if this is true, say that despite the 1973 law that there is like a constitutional workaround for the president. I don't know, but...
Yeah, I mean, he's going to try to find a workaround. We talked about this earlier. What did he say? What was the workaround he was talking about earlier?
Because before that, I believe he did have the president, not him specifically, but the office of the president had the constitutional power to actually declare long-term conflicts and war.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out I know we talked about a workaround earlier today. I'm trying to see what it was. Chat, you guys might remember what it was.
I wonder if he could, I mean, not as a constitutional workaround, but just as a kind of a loophole. I wonder if he could withdraw troops, declare the conflict over, and then redeclare it, like redeploy.
Yeah.
Does that start the clock over? You know,
I wouldn't know.
I'm not asking you. I'm just posing that to the stream.
Stop asking me, Brent. No.
Answer me, John.
Yeah, but Iranian state media did confirm this proposal here. I'm still kind of wanting to short. The only thing, like, if we get back down under, my computer forced another reset yesterday. I'm still kind of pissed off about it. I'm like, hey, why don't you pause it for 2 weeks? And it's like, okay, in 3 days we did the update. But yeah, until we break under this previous closing price, under the purple line, which is the volume weighted average price, that's what's going to change my tune and maybe allow me to jump back in here. But I really need to drop under the 200 exponential, under the volume weighted average price here before I start to really, get interested in another short. There's an extension provision if the executive sees a need without congressional approval an extra 30 days.
I don't like an in case of emergency type thing.
He's commander in chief. He can do whatever he wants. No, he can't. Separation of powers. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also the whole point of checks and balances.
Right. 100%. They were never challenged for the extension. Sell in May and go away. Not this year. Honestly, markets are up, but they're not up a lot. Look, the previous closing price, where we closed yesterday, is right here. This is why I say this light blue line, which is the previous closing price, is what I'm waiting for us to break down underneath. If we can break down under that previous close, then maybe I'll be interested in it. But until then, we're just kind of sideways. We've been really choppy the last 4 minutes of market activity here. Oil is still down on the day, of course, from Iran sending the U.S. a proposal. But, we'll see. We'll see.
Wonder if it was a beautiful proposal.
Yeah. Maybe it was, dude. Maybe it was. Until we hear actual details regarding this proposal, I'm skeptical of it, though. And I do think this could be an overreaction here. But if we get details regarding the proposal and they're optimistic, sure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like you said, I'm not gonna hope too hard just based on past happenings, but maybe.
Yeah. I can't see a deal unless Trump tacos. We will see. Laughing song. He's laughing at me. He saw me lose on that short, and now he's laughing at me. I believe it. I believe it. All right. What's your trade ideas right now, guys? Let me hear your trade ideas in chat right now. What are you guys thinking today? What's your plan? What's your strategy? Let's talk about it. Because as of now, NASDAQ has ripped up on this Iranian proposal. I'm skeptical unless we get optimistic details.
I don't know. But I do vote for a music change.
I expect the details to come through pretty soon here, though. So I do expect us to get some details here. Sometime. And maybe that's good, maybe it's bad. Cautiously optimistic. Yeah. Bitcoin is going to go up, so Bitcoin dominance is not good for all coins if Bitcoin dumps. Yeah, Bitcoin's flying higher here because Bitcoin wants to end this conflict. So it gets easing, is what it is. Bitcoin now over 78,000. Look at Bitcoin rise here, chat. Wow, Bitcoin is popping higher here. Look at this.
Let me look at it.
Crazy, 78,000 plus now for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is up. Yeah, there's a lot of proposals back and forth, but if they all say the same thing, what's the real point of it? That's my fear.
Yeah. Did Truman get approval? Jim Carrey was never president. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, dude. We all know Truman from the Truman Show.
Yeah. I know that's who he was talking about.
He's the best Truman there was, bro. He's the best Truman there was.
Absolutely. So, what do you think is the impetus behind Bitcoin running up like this?
Bitcoin's running up because Bitcoin wants easing. It's kind of like gold, right? Gold goes up whenever potential easing is on the table. And Bitcoin kind of moves in a positive correlation with gold a lot of the time. If you look at Bitcoin right here, and Bitcoin's up to over 78,000 right now. And then we put up gold here on the left side of this chart. Here's gold. So gold's running up on this proposal as well, right? And the reason for this is because both of those things benefit from lower inflation. They want easing. They want low interest rates. And so what creates less of a roadblock to interest rate cuts? Less inflation. The conflict ending equals less inflation, which means less roadblocks towards rate cuts. Is why gold's popping higher here. Is why Bitcoin's popping higher. So yeah, we do have ISM manufacturing data today. We do have ISM manufacturing data. Gary, you might be really behind the stream. I see you say Seaside, Florida. You might be really late.
That was like an hour ago.
Yeah. Sandisk again reacting pretty bad to earnings, but it did pop up a little bit on this news with everything else. Just sympathy movement in markets kind of makes everything pop when news
So
like
Bitcoin's basically digital gold.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's basically right.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 a.m.
Which,
Eastern
honestly,
to get the ISM data. Sorry, Brett, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think you've that sounded kind of maybe a little smart, but I think you've said that several times in the last couple of weeks. So I'm just aping off of you a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's basic. It moves in a similar way, I guess, is the point. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's worth the same. The value's the same. The long-term benefits are the same. You know.
Yeah.
I would say Bitcoin's a little more high risk, high reward than gold. Although gold's been wild lately too. You know. IBIT is moving. What is that? Which is IBIT? IBIT is the Bitcoin ETF from is it BlackRock or Morgan Stanley? The iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF.
Farmer said Gary will find out in an hour. He's behind.
yeah. Which one do you like more, chat? Bitcoin or gold? Let me know in chat. Put Bitcoin or put gold up in chat if you like if you like that one more. Let me know. It's the BlackRock one? Okay. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Tiny? Taxes are the difference. Bitcoin or gold? Which one?
What's going on, Tiny?
Bitcoin or gold?
Because I can hold it.
I mean, you can hold a Bitcoin.
What?
I mean, you can hold a Bitcoin wallet, physical wallet, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Looks like most people, I don't know, we're kind of split in the chat here. This has awoken the chat. Faye says gold. Batty says Bitcoin all day. Java says Bitcoin. Pew says Bitcoin. Dave says Bitcoin. 3X says gold. Chef says, I know what Chef says. Chef is going to say gold. Anon says gold. Harry says gold. Jono says Bitcoin. Sam buys both. Rooftop says Bitcoin. Calvin says gold. A-Man says gold. Jay Violet says Bitcoin. Or did he say Bitcoin? Sorry, I lost. Somehow I skipped like 30 people here from the chat.
That happens to me sometimes.
Yeah, Jay Violet says Bitcoin. GT 500 says gold. Schlom says only Bitcoin is real. Raga says gold. I am a nerd says it depends on the trend. Chris says Bitcoin. Farmer says Bitcoin. Rooftop says Bitcoin. Jeremiah says gold. Kevin doesn't comment on it.
Well, I've said this before. I'm like a crow, so like I like shiny stuff, but also, and granted, if electricity goes away, we have a lot bigger problems than like whether you have gold or Bitcoin. But if we lose electricity or whatever, Bitcoin's gone. Gold is still there.
Yeah, for sure. But if shit really hits the fan,
I know we have
hold on,
worse
guys.
problems than that.
Yeah, real quick. Volume spike just happened and the NASDAQ dropped down here. Returns of the proposal to the forefront. Tehran submitted a proposal to the Pakistani mediator today, as a diplomatic source told me, and added that the nuclear negotiations will not succeed under these circumstances, and is likely the focus will be on ending the war. Is what I'm seeing here.
Can you post that?
Yeah, so this is what I just saw posted real quick right now. Yeah. That is the news. I just put it up on chat. And with that catalyst here, with that catalyst, NASDAQ is down. I'm sure oil is jumping back a little bit higher here. I'm not gonna say I told you so.
John, you're so humble.
I'm not gonna say I told you.
But he's thinking it real loud.
Yeah, this is basically Iran telling the U.S. stop trying to get a nuclear deal done. You can't negotiate nuclear enrichment. But let's see. 30-minute pump and dump. Yeah.
Of course, it won't succeed unless one side is willing to say, "Okay, we give in on that issue. It's not going to go away."
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think the focus on ending the war is good. And that aspects of it are good.
I agree.
You know. Okay, so I'm saying diplomacy. Washington wants Tehran's nuclear program. Iran refuses. Tehran seeks important privileges in the negotiation, and Washington resists. Let's see if we hold now. Yeah. And here's some drops. So we're basically turning the other way here. I am short right now here. I did take a short. We're up. But I did take a short here. A little bit late. Just want to see if we keep dropping down. I'm going to take a piece of that off. Just lock it in. And then see what happens. We have 6 contracts left. We'll give it some time here, though. Yeah, by 9:30 it'll all change. Kid, maybe so here. But yeah, this is, again, we have it up on screen. You can kind of see what's going on right now. This is the 200 exponential. You know, we had the guy that was like, bro, why are you trading news yesterday? And I was like, dude, I never trade news. I don't even know what trading news is. Here I am, guys. I just thought about it. I'm trading freaking news right now. But we're green. I'm going to take some off here and lock in profit. We are green.
Well,
so,
I mean, I think the guy was not really thinking it through. Like, it's important to talk about the things that are moving markets, but you don't base your trades on them. You base your trades on the patterns and the data. I mean, at least that's what you seem to do.
I most of the time are almost, 90% of the time, I'm wrong every time trading news. But I think there's certain situations where there is a little bit more, like, you get a little bit of edge from it. You get a little bit of edge. Now we get another pop back up. We've already locked it 2 out of 3 of this position here. We get another pop up. I'm just going to get out. But
also, I just think watching the news that affects markets just makes it more interesting to trade.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this, like I said, I think there could be some edge. I'm cutting this right now. We'll see what happens. Market's bouncing up a little bit. Again, I do think this situation is a little different, though. I think this situation is a little different. I think there's certain situations in which the catalyst is so overreacted to that you got edge on the other side. And that's what we talked about a lot today. And that's kind of what happened. We ended up just turning right back down. So I think it makes sense. You got to look at things in terms of, like, I think when you get a catalyst like this, you have to look at what it is, what it really means, and what the reaction was. If the reaction doesn't match the catalyst, then maybe you have some edge there. I'm not saying you should do this, but if the catalyst doesn't match the reaction, you can have some edge doing it. Need another golden tweet. And honestly, with all this news coming out, I expect us to get another tweet today. I do. I'm not an investment professional, guys. I'm not liable if you lose. But I do expect us to get another tweet today. I think a tweet makes sense today. I think he's gonna say something about this. I'm assuming here. So I'm assuming he's gonna make
a good assumption.
Right. And real quick, we did jump back in this short. I'm gonna unlock a lot of this here, and we're gonna hold this last little contract here and see what happens.
Since we were talking about gold and Bitcoin and all that earlier, specifically in regards to gold, did you know that China just reported they discovered a super giant gold deposit?
So we heard about that a long time ago. This was like, I don't know when I heard that. It was like 6 months ago. But yeah, I did hear.
Really?
That.
I just heard about it. I just heard about it the other day. Like, my bad. But
chat. When did that news come out? I remember it coming out. But it was like months and months ago.
I didn't hear about it. Honestly, now it just sounds silly. But
no, you're good. What's up? What's up, Chef?
I did hear it was also very, very high quality gold too, though. I mean, I don't know what that means specifically, but
do you guys remember that article about China finding all that gold? I remember it. It was, again, just because I look at it, I can't remember where it was though, when it was. Maybe they found another one.
1,400 tons.
Yeah, here, hold on. Yeah, this was in November of 2025. Yeah, that's what it was. November of 2025. China announced the discovery of the largest gold deposit found since 1949, an estimated 1,400 plus tons of reserves. So yeah, this was 6 months ago.
Yeah, and it sounds like a big deal. I mean, and it is a big deal, but like my God, like the wealth behind that, and it turns out it's like $80 billion, which is a lot, but like not.
But for China,
not
it's yeah.
Not in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, for sure. And again, just to state what's going on right now, guys. Tehran submitted a new proposal to the Pakistani mediators yesterday, as a diplomatic source told me, and added that the nuclear negotiations will not succeed under these circumstances, and it is likely that the focus will be on ending the war. So again, they're just saying what they said before. This is what they're saying here, right? This is Iran saying this. You trying to get us to give up our nuclear ambitions is not going to cut it. Let's end the war now, and then we'll figure that out later. Like basically, like we're not going to negotiate about giving up our nuclear ambitions until you end the war.
That's
and what they're really talking about is the blockade. That's what they're really talking about. What they're really talking about is the blockade. They're talking about let our oil go through. Stop. Don't strike our infrastructure. Let our oil go through, and then we'll figure it all out later. And this is what they've been saying for a week here, chat. This is really, again, this is what they've been saying for like a week. Now, and I don't know if this is going to cut it. I don't know if this is going to fly. I think we might get a presidential tweet today in which, we might get a presidential tweet in which Trump comes out and he's like, nah, bro, we're not doing that. In fact, I'm going to do this instead, more escalation. And or we could get the opposite. Maybe Trump wants to end the war. I don't freaking know, man, at this point in time. But that's what's going on right now. Again, the proposal basically said, end the war now, we'll figure nuclear out later, which is what they said. I think it was yesterday, the day before that. And just a vast
Let's go back to what we were doing before and just trust us to keep our word this time.
No, all right, 100%. Yeah.
It would be nice if we could end it. I mean, it's
sure.
Ideal.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, I want it to end. We cover this stuff. It's all great, and like we get, we probably get more views on my stream from all this stuff going on. To be honest, here we got 1,100 people watching right now. With no economic data today. Well, we got ISM data. We're still going to cover that at 10. But the point is,
releases at 10. Okay.
Yeah, more people tune in when there's something on fire, basically.
Yeah.
And so it's not bad for my stream, but I'm also kind of tired of talking about it here. With that said, though, look at oil jump up. It's at 104s. Look at the NASDAQ dip down. It's at 27,570s. So we will see what happens here, guys. We will see what happens. Again, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button on the channel. Hit the notification bell. We cover all this stuff live every day. Yeah, we appreciate the love, but we will see what happens today, man. I thought the focus would be on Sandisk and Apple today, and instead it's focused on, Middle Eastern conflict and more. So we will see what we get today.
Let's see. Yeah, gold mines also come along with a lot of other rare earth minerals. They're super hard to process, but China's the best at and already has the infrastructure. Honestly, I never really thought about accompanying minerals. That's a good point, Sam.
Real quick, we do see oil dipping down. It's at 103.70s, and we see the NASDAQ popping a little higher here. Let's see if we have any news that's driving this. Never mind. Oil just retraced back up. Maybe it's not news driven right now, but must be Friday. There's some stuff going on. Yeah. We're going to see the markets go wild. Apple earnings were great. Sandisk earnings were great too, but Sandisk went down, Apple went up. So it kind of goes to show the variance of earnings releases. I always try to tell people, nobody freaking knows which way earnings are going to move. Yeah. I don't know. Oil is coming down. Maybe we're going to get more details. Look at oil dump a little bit. NASDAQ rip. Maybe the earnings from some of these stocks will take off. Will allow the market to run anyway. But now let's see what happens over the weekend, guys. I guess it's the reality of it. We'll see what we get over the weekend. More or less escalation over the weekend, chat. I'm sure most people are going to be like more,
Probably more.
Yeah, I'm assuming more. But maybe we get a deal done. This is optimistic heading into the weekend. I think there's arguments for that as well. I think to be fair and objective, maybe we get something like that. Do I think it's the base case? No, but I think it's possible for sure, Nvidia also sitting right at a pretty big milestone level of like $200 here. So, and also I did, just to put this out there here, hold on.
The heck, man.
All right, so long or short, chat, right now? Are y'all long or short? Bullish day? Pakistan. Long or short right now, guys? What do you think? It's hard for me to tell, honestly, at this point in time. I'm still kind of... Okay, wait. We did have some more news that just dropped. Iranian Supreme Leader Khamenei, the press account, posts America's paper tiger bases can't even secure themselves, let alone the regional American worshippers, end quote. So, and I'm asking people, are they long or short here? Short, bullish, short, long, long, flat, short, 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 long, long, shong, short, long, wait, short, flat, long. Pretty split down the middle, honestly, here.
Honestly, I'm expecting a tweet anytime now.
I expect one too. It doesn't mean we're going to get one. Will we get a Trump tweet today? I think it's possible for sure. I think he's going to want to comment on all the stuff going on. But yeah.
Yeah,
doesn't mean
he's definitely one to clap back, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. So, but yeah, like the circumstances will likely be on ending the war. Sideways, long. Sounds good to me. I don't want to see people get hurt, but I shorted big time, so escalation would for sure work out for me. You holding long? You holding over the weekend? Short? Yeah, are you holding over the weekend? That's a risky thing, brother. That's a risky thing. But I think maybe you have some edge. I don't know if it's easy, and there's always variance with stuff like this. But maybe we get more escalation over the weekend. But maybe we don't as well. And if we, you know, the worst case scenario of holding things over the weekend would be like if for some reason the conflict starts to look like it's ending over the weekend, you're going to be in for a shit show on Monday or Sunday's open or whatever you're trading. It depends on what you're trading here. So, yeah, just be careful.
What's wrong with my charts?
All right, guys. Ooh, let's see what we get, man. Interesting day already, though, man. I wasn't expecting all this today. I really wasn't. For maybe the first time in history, I told Claude to... Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh, dude. Claude just messing this up. Look how fast this is on the top. Slow that shit down, brother. I literally just told Claude what I just said. Slow that shit down, dude. Let's see what he says. Damn, Claude. He said slowed way down. Okay, thank you, Claude. Get it right, bro. Get it right, dude. Come on now. I love how you can talk to this thing like a human. I want to see the markets react. Yeah, oil's still kind of up and down here. We're not really moving a ton. So, like, where's all the data, dude? Oh, for CL futures. Hold on, look, there's a little pop-up here. M6, Britt, M6. The top
Thanks.
contract. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know, I did this with Claude. Claude didn't put anything on the top screen. Alright, so we are shorting again here. Let's put this back up. I told you guys I've been in this, but 200 exponential is kind of the roadblock right now. Yeah, I mean, I'm short right here. Claude, C-L-A-U-D-E. Claude. What is that, a German name? Where's Claude? Claude. I want to say it's
French.
like French. Yeah, that's right. Gemini. Gemini's great too. I like Gemini a lot. All right, guys, look, we are short here. We are short waiting. It's the top of the hour, though. It is 9 o'clock right now, chat. It is 9 o'clock. Oh, let's see what happens here.
Yeah, I got a lot of playing to do with this this platform to figure it out.
All right, so we're in this short. We are writing this down. We need under the 200 exponential, though. Claude. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well, to be fair, he's Belgian, but
Yeah. The GOAT, man, the GOAT. A number of oil tankers were redirected back to Iran with crude cargo continues to rise. So the number of oil tankers that gets redirected back to Iran is going up still. Contents are unclear, though. I'm still, like, again, I still think one of the catalysts today, guys, on the upside or downside is going to be if we get details regarding this proposal. I think the conflict ends today. I don't necessarily here, but I think it's looking more optimistic now, but it depends on what the details are. It depends on if they've changed their tune regarding their nuclear ambitions, of course. I think that's the big thing here, is have they changed their tune, you know, their nuclear ambitions?
Sam says get out, it's just a sweep. What do you think?
I mean, I can reduce my size a little bit here as we start to pop higher, but I don't know. I think there's a chance we fall down.
I'm just curious if Sam is right.
Yeah, I could hold this. I could hold this break even, so I'm going to stay with that because that's a really good situation to find yourself in, is being able to hold something break even. And so if we pop up, I'll get out flat. The profit that I have left is not worth it to worry about in that regard. It's just not a large enough profit here. You know, we've already scaled out of most of this anyway. So
Nice Chiron, John.
this weekend's too profitable to end today. What do you think, they ended over the weekend and markets react on Monday? That's the way to do the, like, if they're doing insider trades, that's what they would do, really, is they'd end it over the weekend. You know, they'd get into a bunch of longs now and then announce it over the weekend and profit big, you know.
I would love for this to be over. I'm so tired of the instability. It's stressful.
Yeah. And to be fair, I don't think they're going to end it without taking insider trades on both sides.
No.
No,
I mean,
no.
why, would you?
You know? Not if I can get away with it.
Hypothetically, you know.
Yeah, I would never, dude. Me?
No, who? Me? Couldn't be.
I don't even know what a trade is.
I mean, have you guys ever seen a more innocent face than John's?
Yeah. It's weekend, yeah. They're going to run until the CPI report. Yeah, next week we have payrolls on Friday as well, though, guys. We do have payrolls on Friday. You know, we do have payrolls on Friday. We'll see what happens, but payroll should be interesting, too, with all the push for easing and everything going on. So we'll see. Yeah, short. I see a lot of people. I pay a lot of attention to half-hour candle closes. Yeah, I mean, look, and again, I'm not even saying you're wrong, Sam. You might be right here, brother. For me, though, like I said, I can hold it break even, and that's a pretty good spot to be in. And we're still going to make money on the trade, as well as, you know, give ourselves to make more if we break down here. So that's kind of the logic of it. But right now, the market is kind of flat leading into the opening bell. We're not doing too much here, realistically. Interesting day, though. Oh man, I looked the other way. I'm gonna cut this. All right, I'm out. I'm out. We made money on the trade though. Oil continues to dip. NASDAQ continues to rip. We got out.
Awesome. Good job, man. I gotta step away for just a second.
Yeah, we're starting to bounce higher. I believe that was Britt trying to do a Cajun accent, by the way. All right, so let's see what happens here. Previous closing price on the NASDAQ is at 27,598. Price action back to normal now. The big boys will be positioned for the drops. Is it a sell in May, go away situation here? Yeah, Sam, you might have been right, bro. We got out. 200 exponential held, though. Like, here's the 200 EMA. Oil continues to break down. Again, I'm waiting to see if we get details regarding this proposal, though. Like, that's what I'm waiting for, is do we get details regarding this proposal? Bitcoin is back over 78,000. Also, guys, give me a follow at x.com at beginner trades here. Give me a follow right here. Yeah, we appreciate it. Still seeing if we correct back down here, though.
All right, I have returned.
Welcome back, dude. You missed the sound of silence with me, Brett. The sound.
It's a great song.
You know. Oil just broke 103.11s here, so oil is heading towards some of the lows it put in here. NASDAQ is still slowly creeping higher here, slowly. So we will see what happens here. But the opening bell is coming in 30 minutes. Powell is getting fired? Powell's not fired. His term's over. He's staying on as governor, though.
Can anybody actually remove him from the board, like totally, or does he have to resign, or can the rest of the board? Does the rest of the board have to do it?
I honestly, I'm not sure. I have to go look at the. I mean, I think, yeah, you look that up. I don't think they can. They're gonna the Fed board might be able to, but Trump can put pressure to do it. So oil dumping again. Yeah, the NASDAQ's ripping. The NASDAQ's right at the volume weighted average price and the previous closing price. So I say this is like a neutral level here with everything going on. We made our money from the short, and now we're kind of bouncing back higher here. So we're looking at the previous closing price right here at basically 600 and the VWAP at 600. So this is a milestone level right here. So I do expect this level to maybe be a battling point. And if we look at the volume profile here as well, if we look at the volume profile here, it is a high volume area, and so we'll see if we end up ripping over this or not. But
so by statute, members of the board of governors can generally be removed by the president only for cause.
Yeah, and cause is, they're going to be pretty strict with cause, you know.
Yeah.
So
it's generally understood to mean something beyond mere policy disagreements, typically involving inefficiency, neglect of duty, or malfeasance in office.
Right. No, for sure. So that's going to be hard to get on them.
Yeah.
Not without cause, yeah. Oh, can you read my poem on stream, please? Okay, Sam wrote a poem here. I'm not a big poem guy, but I know what, nothing against you if you are. You know, let's read Sam's poem. Sam had a poem.
I read it. I thought it was a nice poem.
I'm going to read this like I did reading essays in ninth grade. Okay, I'm gonna speed read this thing. All right. Where is the poem? There it is. It's untitled. Every encounter is an interaction wherein the self confronts the foreign view. Every interaction is an opportunity to learn what shadows lurk in perspectives new. Every opportunity to learn is a gift from the universe's infinite design. One just has to be listening and prepared to be wrong to let illumination realign. For pride constructs a fortress of deceit, while humility opens pathways sweet. The prepared listener willing to retreat from error's throne find knowledge at his feet. In every meeting lies this paradox grand. To know more, one must first admit the unknown's hand. Sam. With that said, though, the NASDAQ is ripping higher here, guys. So great poem, Sam. Great poem. I'm not a big poem guy.
I enjoyed it.
It wasn't bad, honestly. It wasn't bad. I'm not a poem guy. You know, they say the truth is like poetry, and most people effing hate poetry. I don't hate it, but I don't read it, but I didn't dislike this poem. I kind of liked it.
That's what I was going to say. Poetry in general is not my thing, but I recognize, a good poem when I read one, and I thought that was a good poem.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. All right, guys. NASDAQ popping higher here. Look at the NASDAQ run up. NASDAQ's making moves. Everybody applaud Sam in the chat.
I don't know if anybody heard that, but I applauded.
Oh, I heard it. Yeah. Just to give you some context to that poem, it basically means be open-minded. Is the overarching point of that poem. Be open-minded. I can see it.
What if you're completely wrong? He's like, no, that's not what I meant at all.
I think it really does. Like, the whole point of the poem is to be open-minded. Maybe I missed the gist of it, but that's what I took from it.
I think it's pronounced gist, actually.
I think that's how the French say it. Sam is Claude. Claude wrote it, didn't he? Yeah. We got $600 here. Yeah. I still can't trade on Apex. Is anybody else having Apex issues? Kato's saying that his real-time data is not working on Apex. Is anybody else having Apex issues? Chat. Do you have Apex issues right now?
I'm not on the patch.
Still missing out? How is Sandisk down? Sandisk is down because it is up like this on a 180-day chart. So, like, people say, why is Sandisk down? Here's Sandisk. Sandisk killed it with earnings, too. They did great. But they're going to be doing great right now. But a Sandisk, 6-month chart. Like, look at a yearly chart on Sandisk. This is a wild freaking chart, bro. A wild chart. And so, even if Sandisk kills it, people are worried about overextension in it, is what it is. And it's a buy the rumor, sell the news event. It is a, it could be a sell the news event. It could be just extension. Could be profit taking for Sandisk. It's not down that much. I mean, it's down like a decent percentage and all, but, it's not like it's not like a wild move for Sandisk considering how much this thing is up over the last year, Good on Apex, no problems. No issues with Apex this morning. And again, guys, use my coupon code BGT. Honestly, let's talk about Tradeify a little bit. Tradeify, guys. Tradeify genuinely as the cheapest direct-to-funded that I could see here. I like Lucid a lot. I use Lucid a lot for kind of everything. So Lucid and Tradeify are pretty solid. But Tradeify is direct-to-funded. You can get 100K Lightning funded for $396. 100K funded account, direct-to-funded, no eval. You're funded instantly on Tradeify, less than $400. You can take payouts every 5 days, 20% consistency rule, 2,500 daily loss limit, 4,000 end-of-day drawdown in the 100K account. You can take huge size. And so, yeah, not too shabby here. Not too shabby on Tradeify. If you want to check it out, you can get that discount. Use coupon code BGT at checkout. Get the max discount, friends. BGT at checkout. You'll get the max discount. We appreciate it. And we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. But if you want to check it out, here's the link. They are a sponsor of mine, or they're an affiliate of mine, I should say. I am biased, of course, because I get paid by these companies. But check it out. There's the link.
To be fair, they pay me in beef jerky, but
Dude, I want to get paid in beef jerky. I say, you know what? Pay me in Bitcoin? No. Give me some beef jerky. You know what's really good? Carnivore snacks. So
they are
good, bro.
You let me try some of them when I was out there, and they are really, really good.
They're so good, dude. They're so expensive, though. It's like $40 a bag, and those bags go quick. But they're so freaking good, dude. They're so good.
Try try biltong. Biltong is a really good alternative,
Yeah.
and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's
All right,
basically air dried African jerky.
Yeah. How about Bitcoin? Bitcoin's loving life right now, man. Bitcoin's flying higher here. Bitcoin's up to almost 79,000, or I don't know, almost 79,000, but Bitcoin is loving this news about a potential conflict ending because it wants easing and it's moving up. With that said, though, the NASDAQ just pulled back down here. Oil is still elevated, but it is down on the day after this Iran conflict news. And if you didn't catch all of this, guys, if you have not called all of this, let me fix Claude, dude. If you have not called all this, you can see the top scroller, which Iran is delivering a new proposal to the U.S. through Pakistan mediators, response to latest U.S. amendments on ending the war, according to Axios. Nuclear negotiations will not succeed, basically. Again, they're saying the same thing they've been saying, which is, let's end the war now, and then we'll deal with the nuclear negotiations afterwards. Yeah, that's basically what they're saying here. And again, that's really, again, I would say it again.
I found that to be a silly proposal, but
yeah, again, I'm gonna say it again. Also, again, I'm gonna say this again. I'm saying again way too much, but they said this 3 days ago. This was literally what they said 3 days ago. And so, yeah, we'll see.
wait, what did you say again?
Again. Yeah.
What's wrong with Roblox, Blaze?
I just had some sharp stuff. Roblox. I mean, there's a lot of stuff wrong with Roblox, to be honest. As a parent, there's some stuff wrong with Roblox.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not gonna go into it on the stream, but also another one to watch is
I just figured he was talking about as a stock. I was just curious what he meant. That's all.
Oh, Roblox is a dumpster fire today. It's down huge percentages. It's down 25% right now, from 55s down to 40s.
Oh.
Bad numbers, bad user numbers, is what happened to Roblox. Yeah, Bitcoin's still moving. Yeah. Join our Discord.
Smash the like button. All that good stuff.
Yeah. G-Man, I just ordered some. You ordered some carnivore snacks? It's so good, dude. It's hard to even explain it, you know.
Telling you guys, biltong is better. Don't sleep on the biltong, despite the weird name.
As a stock, it may be a good investment, but yeah. I mean, look, we'll see. All right. With that said, let's do the poll here. We asked how long this conflict is going to end. 37% say 1 month, 21% say 3 months, 16% say 6 months, 25% say 9 months. We're going to end this poll, and we're going to do another poll here. And in this other poll, we're going to ask, are you bullish or bearish for the opening bell?
Yes.
You're probably right. I think we'll have bull and bearishness at the opening bell.
Yeah, my dude.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, chat.
But if that's not an option, I'm just going to go with bull.
And real quick, we did get news that on Monday, White House envoy Witkoff sent Iran through Pakistan mediators a list of amendments that focus on returning the nuclear issue to the text of this agreement, according to Axios, citing a source familiar with the details. This is probably what Iran's responding to. The source said one of the amendments included a requirement that Iran commit not to carry out any activity at its bomb nuclear facilities and not attempt to touch any part of its enriched uranium stockpile as long as the negotiations on these issues continue, according to Axios. So that is the news right now here, chat. Oil is down on the day, slightly red, but it's an interesting day. Yeah. Yeah, I don't let my kids play it either. Have a poll on whether we should have a poll. Yeah.
Like a Festivus poll?
Yeah, that's right. again, NASDAQ is starting to rebound back up here, but really we just got a lot of chop. We got some stuff going on, but let's see what we get today, man.
I'm gonna have to look into this, what everybody's talking about. I'm not gonna say anything about it, but
remember, the market is up so much because S&P has had its best month since 2020. The S&P has had its best month since 2020 for April. It broke all-time highs multiple times. And yeah, we'll see what happens here, but best month since April. Looking at the polls so far, 60% are bullish, 41% are bearish. Wait until the weekend bearish news. Bull or bear over the weekend? 12 minutes to go? Yeah, 11. Really less than 11. 10 and a half.
Can you guys hear my typing? I'm just trying to gauge how loud it is.
Bears aren't taking peptides. All right, guys, here we go. Let's give it a range so far. Pump the music up. Yes, sir. All right, guys. NASDAQ is still... I don't know whether I should take a trade here or not. Maybe I should. Market on open's coming soon. Yeah, it is the first day of the month, and a lot of markets are actually closed today. So it is what's called May Day overseas, which is kind of like Labor Day in the U.S. So a lot of markets are actually closed today overseas. So we might have slightly less volume than typical here just because of May Day and futures and some stuff like that. But yeah. Let's see. We'll see what we get. You know. Have you guys had a good or bad week so far this week? Bullish or bearish week so far, chat?
You just mean trading, not in general.
Yeah. That's right. Have you had a bullish or bearish week, Britt?
I have had a neither week because I haven't traded.
Yeah. I think we let you trade once. I can't remember if you were right or wrong.
I think I was right on 2 positions and wrong on 1, if I remember right.
Real quick, oil breaking down at 102.70s right now. So oil is breaking down a little bit. NASDAQ is shooting higher. It's at about 620s right now. 620s. So we are starting to see some movement here. We are starting to see some movement. Bullish week. Yeah, happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is. All right, let's go. 9 minutes, chat. 9 minutes.
It's somebody's birthday, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Most likely every day.
Some say that it could be that too, Britt. You know.
Yeah, dude, we had an issue with Meta, Sam, if you don't mind me asking.
Do you guys like Meta stock?
I mean, they're still expensive, but right now, are they still down overall?
Yeah.
Not today, just,
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the con. They're actually green today, but net, since their earnings report, yes, they are down. Here's Meta on the left side.
Okay. I mean, if I could afford to buy it, maybe I would buy a little long term.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, why is my... Yeah, I'm going to take my browser source off of this. Very green this week in my shorts. April was garbage, but hey, this week alone was great. No. Yeah, Meta. I like Intel. Good week for me, Jay says. Got crushed on Meta. Hopefully it comes back. Absolutely bad week. Bullish week. Bearish week. New all-time highs today is in NASDAQ and S&P. I mean, NASDAQ is close to all-time highs. All-time highs, I think, are 670s. Yeah, 674.50. All-time high on the NASDAQ is right here, chat. This is the all-time high. And so we are right here, right now on the NASDAQ. So we're pretty close to it. Not completely, but we could hit it if we get a good bull run. S&P, though, on the other hand, is at all-time highs. S&P broke all-time highs early this morning at 72.71s here. 72.71s. So S&P on this catalyst did break all-time highs. NASDAQ still a little bit under it, though, with the tech stuff. You know. Great week for the long term and swings, but day trading is a roller coaster for me right now. Yeah, no, I feel you, man. It's a little wild. It's a little wild. We are going to trade the opening bell though, so we'll see what we get. But all right, guys, let's see what we get. There we go. That's better. You can see the news at the very top of the screen. Hey, see you, Teddy. Have a great day. Also, do me a favor, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell here.
We appreciate have a good one.
Yeah, later, Teddy. Have a good day. Yeah, next week we got a bunch of stuff going on too. So next week will be really, really interesting in the grand scheme of things. Today we do have ISM Manufacturing PMI. I forgot about that, so we'll focus on that today. Manufacturing PMI. Next week we have JOLTS on Tuesday, ISM Services on Tuesday, ADP Monthly Employment Jobs Report on Wednesday at 8:15. Thursday we get jobless claims and more, non-farm productivity, and then Friday we have the NFP payroll and unemployment report and Michigan Consumer Sentiment prelim, Michigan Consumer Sentiment. And then I believe the next week we have CPI data, if I remember correctly, if my data is not off. I think the next week is CPI. So the week the 11th through the 15th is usually when we get CPI. So yeah, we will get CPI on Tuesday, May 12th. May 13th, we have PPI. So we're finally back to where we get CPI and PPI back to back here. You know, retail sales and more coming Thursday. So the next few weeks are busy, which is good. It was a couple slow weeks here. Look at the S&P and the NASDAQ start to dip a little bit, though. Here's oil. All right, guys. Opening bells in 5 minutes, chat. 5 minutes. Yeah, jobless claims should be interesting for sure. So we should have an interesting jobless claims report. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, look at NASDAQ though, guys. NASDAQ just pulled back some here. Let's get our trades up ready. So we did have a red candle show up on the NASDAQ just now. I don't think it's a catalyst yet, but... Yeah, good luck today, chat. We'll see what we get today. Again, the big news that we have on the screen, obviously, is what's moving markets. But, again, I expect us to get some of the details from this sometime today. And if the details aren't good, I think markets might come back down. Or if it's looking like we're going to get a deal done, maybe markets rip higher. But here we go. Here's the opening bell, chat. We're going to watch Sandisk and more at the opening bell, too, though. Apple, maybe, potentially.
So are you bullish or bearish on the open, John?
I'm neutral. You know, I think I'm going to let the trend play out. I don't really have a plan. Right now, we're bullish. Like, right now, the trend is bullish. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you can kind of see the bullish trend right here. So right now, the trend is bullish. But I'm not really super confident in either direction, to be honest here.
You're in wait and see mode, basically.
Right. No, 100%. I'm in wait and see mode. Again, 2 minutes left, chat. 2 minutes left. I don't trust anything. It's Friday. You know, I just don't trust anything right now.
Yeah, I understand that.
right, guys, here's the opening bell. Good luck. All right, look at the NASDAQ pop here ahead of the opening bell, though. So we're heading up. We're at 630s right now. I don't trade the open. I wait 5 minutes to trade. So I don't trade the open, but I trade 5 minutes after the open.
What's the chat's opening strategy, you guys, real quick?
Palantir's due for a rebound. The earnings report on May 4th. Yeah, so they drop next week, Monday, for Palantir. Okay, we're at 630s right now on the NASDAQ, though. We are popping higher here. The opening bell is in 1 minute, chat. 1 minute. Here we go. Yeah, let's see what the opening bell brings. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he dropped one right at the open.
All right, here we go. Here's the opening bell. 30 seconds, chat. 30 seconds. Remember, use my coupon code BGT at checkout. You get the max discount. All right, NASDAQ is ripping higher here. It is ripping higher. What's up, Sparta? Oh, we do have ISM data today. I forget. Okay. ISM manufacturing data. We also have regular manufacturing today at 9:45. It's not a huge release, but it can move things if it shows up sticky. All right, here's the opening bell. There's the open. NASDAQ so far has been pushing up right at the opening bell here, guys. So right at the opening bell, we have been pushing up. We're at 630s right now. 630s. Let's see what we get. But the NASDAQ did go all the way up to 650s here. Remember, 670s are all-time highs. 670s. So I do, I guess, have a somewhat bullish bias at the opening bell. Somewhat. Am I the most confident in it? No. But I do have somewhat of a bullish bias today for the opening bell. So we'll see what we get. But as I say that, we're starting to rip higher here. Look at this. We're at 640s.
Yep. 45.
650s on the NASDAQ here. We're just so close to highs. Yeah, there's a rip up to 660s. We're about to hit all-time highs. I guess the bullish bias made sense. It's too close to the opening bell. I don't usually trade it, but maybe I should trade it right now. I'm tempted to trade it too. If I trade, it's going to be like one contract here up to the highs. Yeah, they're very small. Yeah.
Just curious where it's going to start rejecting.
We just broke highs. I'm going to sell right there. All-time high is now broken on the NASDAQ here. The all-time high is now broken on the NQ. We have broken all-time highs. Please stop talking about your song, Robert.
Oh.
What a move here. What a move. We're at 697s here. Almost 7. What a crazy move here. Nvidia has ripped all the way up to 202.50s here, guys. Sandisk is all the way up to 1060s. Still down, though, net. Apple has popped up at the opening bell. It's at 282s. And again, the NQ has broken all-time highs. All-time highs. I did trade within 5 minutes. I did. I'm sorry. I had to. I didn't mean it, guys. I didn't mean it. 7,700. 27,700s now all-time highs on the NASDAQ. 27,700s.
Yeah, dude.
01's now 27,701 on the NASDAQ here. Yeah, the bullish bias made sense. You heard it here. I was right. You'll never hear the end of it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Man, serious pop-up, dude.
Yeah, dude, we're up. We're up at the opening bell. All-time highs have just broken on the NASDAQ here. The S&P 500, oil's back down to 102.50s, but it's still pretty elevated. S&P's getting close, too, here. If we look at the S&P, guys. S&P all-time highs are right here at 72.71. The S&P's getting very close to all-time highs right now. Very close. So, yeah, we're really popping here. We're starting to move up.
Your new name is John 5. You mean Johnny 5?
John, you broke the rule? Oh, I always do. Hey, thanks as always for the stream, guy. Hey, thank you, Sai. Appreciate it, brother. Software for the win. Look at S&P about to break all-time highs again here. NASDAQ continues. New all-time high on the NASDAQ, 708.25s. 708.25s. I don't think the UK follows May Day. Raymond. I think it's other European countries, but not the UK. If I'm correct, I might be wrong. All right, so the S&P just broke all-time highs. Technically, it got up to 772, 272s on the S&P, 272s. S&P just broke all-time highs. Yeah, so we're breaking all-time highs.
Dude.
Bitcoin back up to 78,390s here. New all-time highs on the NASDAQ, 27,728, almost 29. 729 on all-time highs on the NASDAQ. All-time highs on the S&P, 272 here. So both of these have just broken all-time highs at the opening bell today. The NASDAQ and the S&P 500 here. Yeah, and I usually don't trade that first 5 minutes, but when we're so close to all-time highs, you know, the edge just becomes so great, like playing that move here. And so I broke my rules. I'm sorry, but yeah, we are overall
still going up.
Continue to push here. Yeah, S&P. Look at this NASDAQ candlesticks, man. Look at the NASDAQ ride.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the NASDAQ's really going. S&P's going too. Don't get me wrong, but the NASDAQ up to 750s basically.
Yeah, dude, it's pumping.
For the micro. The other NASDAQ I'm showing 748s here. So kind of wild movement. Wild movement. Big retracement now, but man, people are getting excited at the opening bell. Excited. Let's see if it holds. But yeah, we just woke up at the opening bell. And we do have ISM data. I completely forgot. We do have ISM data today.
I think it might be a good time to short.
I don't know. I'm not going to short all-time highs. It's just too risky.
I feel you. Just,
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
You might be right. You might be right. But yeah, we'll see. All right. Yeah, we got ISM Manufacturing PMI at 10 o'clock today. Maybe it moves markets, maybe it doesn't. I'm not sure.
So we got another 30 seconds until 36.
Long or short right now in chat here, man? This is crazy bullish at the open right now. Are y'all long or short?
I feel like short. I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong, actually, but
you might be right. I mean, again, NVIDIA is starting to pull back to 201s. It's at the VWAP, though. It's a big move on the NASDAQ, though, here. Kind of a wild move. And so let's see if it holds. We'll see if ISM data holds, too. But, yeah, again, we're going to look to buy a dip maybe at 7700s. I don't want to short right here, but it might drop more. So if we drop down to, like, 700s, maybe I'll look for that. But I need a dip.
Yeah.
I'm with Brit. Bull trap. Moon. Is the worm turning? Things can't go up in straight lines. Long, long, long. Iran's parliament vice speaker says no negotiations on nuclear energy in the Strait of Hormuz. Is that a chart or are you bad at Tetris? Buy the dip or... yeah, chat. Buy the dip or short the rip right now. Buy the dip or short the rip. I'll buy a dip if we get down, like if it's dippy enough. But it needs to be like a large enough pullback to make me excited here. So, but again, Iran is giving new U.S. new response on draft peace deal. This was posted 8 minutes ago. And again, I'll put this up on screen. This is an Axios report. But it says the Iranian response is a signal that the diplomacy is not entirely frozen as president maintains that blockade, considers new military action. State media reported the response delivered. Nobody knows what the talks are except myself and a couple of people. They want to make a deal badly. We have a problem because nobody knows for sure who the leaders are. It's a bit of a problem, Trump told reporters at the Oval Office on Thursday. Yeah, so I don't know if that... and we already know this. Again, they're still hardlining with nuclear, I think. And they're saying, hey, let's make a deal now and then we'll take nuclear. And then we'll figure nuclear out later. Which obviously is them trying to say, yeah, let's like open up the blockade. Or stop the blockade and we'll figure it out later. But I don't think that's going to fly.
I don't either.
All right, so I do see on Monday, White House Steve Witkoff sent a list of amendments that focus on inserting the nuclear issue back into the draft. One of the amendments included a demand that Iran commit not to try to move enriched uranium out of its nuclear facilities or restart any activity at those sites as long as negotiations continue. No deal. We have. All right. I asked the chat. Yeah, all good. I asked the chat. They said, "Good luck if you short." Here we go. This is not a bull trap. Short in 5 minutes. Here we go. Short. Sorry, Kato. Sorry, my friend. Predictable by the dip. Sit on hand. Short. Short by the dip. Bulls. We're pretty split. Buy the freaking dip. Sit on hands now. Oil at 101. Buy dip. Sit on our hands. Ha 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 ha. Too much momentum. No deal. It's over.
So the dip is assuming that it's going to go back up afterwards, right? Just to make sure I have the terminology right.
Yeah, buy the dip is a pullback. Buy at a pullback, like going long on a pullback.
Okay.
Again, it depends on what happens in regards to this talk. NASDAQ just broke highs again. 760 is the new all-time high on the NASDAQ. 760. S&P went up to 77, 277s. What should we do here, guys?
So under what conditions would you short on this, Sam? I mean, obviously not right now. It's still bounding up, but
yeah. All right, we're still popping over all-time highs here.
But I'm just curious because I appreciate your opinion.
Yeah, I'm not against shorting like blow off tops and stuff like that, but we're at all-time highs, and so I think there's a little bit more risks in that regard on doing something like that today, just because, you know, whenever we're so close to all-time highs, that's the biggest milestone level on any chart is the all-time high, you know, and so with that, shorting that level is just really risky because, you know, anything can happen.
It's just not likely to drop.
Well, I mean, it could, but momentum can also just rip up like it's doing now. You know, so we're at 88s, 90s. Let's watch 27 800s for maybe a rejection here.
Oh,
let's watch that level for a potential rejection. But yeah, we're just flying higher here.
At the opening bell at 610, I think.
Crazy bullish here. Crazy bullish. It's
up 160, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird push.
Almost 170. It is. It's huge.
Yeah, it's a big move.
And I honestly, I expect to be wrong about a lot of stuff. I'm kind of making instinctual guesses, to be honest, obviously, but you know, I'm learning.
Yeah, I didn't really get a dip to buy either. You know, also Nvidia's starting to rebound back up, you know, is one of the things, right? Like Apple at the opening bell is starting to creep back up towards the highs. Sandisk has been filling the gap it made on the downside here. So like just to look at stocks real quick. Oil's back down to 102s. Here's Sandisk. So Sandisk is kind of filling some of the gap on the downside here. Sandisk is interesting. Meta's not really doing much. Microsoft's starting to fill some of the gap to the upside too. Nvidia's back at 202s when it was at 200s or so, you know, right before the opening bell. Google is rebounding some as well. So a lot of Mag 7 stocks are popping higher here today. Could be driving, you know, the NASDAQ's big push, big move. There is news at the top of the screen. But yeah, we'll see. I'm waiting to trade here. I want to trade this, but man, what crazy movement here. This is crazy momentum at the opening bell. We got some momentum going on. Yeah, there's 800s. I don't know where I'd buy it now, though. I'd still look at 7s, maybe 750 if we get so much momentum that we hold here. Like here's 750 right here. You know, maybe we can look at that. But so much green, so much green. Sandisk still pushing back up to that 83s, 1083s, 1084s. This is before the storm this weekend. Yeah, money's made in waiting, not in trading.
To practice a little revisionist history, I totally said to go long on this.
I think he did too. I heard it one time, probably. I think I heard Bert say that before. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like I thought it really loud though. You know, so that's probably what it was. You know.
Yeah. I believe that. You know. All right, let's watch 750s. I'm looking at 750s. I don't know if we're gonna get it. If we keep ripping up in everybody's face, it doesn't matter. You know. Yeah, the Dow, Bitcoin actually pulling back a little bit at the opening bell. And the Dow is doing the opposite. The Dow went up to Did the Dow break all-time highs? It got up to over 50 again. Let's look at a hourly chart on the Dow. No, Dow didn't break all-time highs. All-time highs on the Dow are like 50.5K. It's currently at just under 50 now, so Dow's moving different. Like it does. Delta's being burned. Want a short? Yeah, do me a favor, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it.
What are yields tracking at right now?
Yields, I'm assuming, are going to be down some net from all of this moves, just because the Iran conflict ending is bearish for yields. Like they interest rate sentiment and yields follow each other, and so yeah. But I could be wrong here, man. Maybe yields are jumping. Yeah, yields actually jumped up a little bit, which is interesting.
What?
Yeah.
What level? Okay, I see it.
4. Yeah, let me look at 2-year yields.
Anytime I'm not on the tab, the stream starts to lag for me. I gotta remember to click live.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, we're at 3.89. They're actually jumping up a little bit, which is interesting. Not really the dynamic you expect to see. We had Kashkari's talking about rate hikes this morning as well, so okay. That could be pushing yields higher. Yeah, Sandisk just went super green on the day, though. Look at Sandisk. Not super green, but Sandisk just went green on the day.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
Are you laughing at me, Britt?
Yeah, no, yes, I am actually. Someone in the chat said, "John, you look like George Washington with that white background." And right as I was reading that, you put the background up behind you, and dude, they're right. You look just like you're wearing a powdered wig.
Right. Listen. Order. You know.
I'm sorry, man. Like that just I couldn't stop laughing at that.
I believe I have the grace, of George Washington. I believe that. I'm the George Washington of this stream.
As long as you don't have the teeth of George Washington.
That's right. All right, guys, look at Sandisk. Guys, Sandisk going green on the day. We're up to 1100s right now. 1100s. 1100s here. So Sandisk going green, just retrace back down. Here's Apple.
It's in DK.
Yeah. It's up to 282s. Yeah, I went from George Washington to like an old judge from the 1700s. So ignore the order part.
Hear you.
Hear you. Listen, all my fellow Americans. Now is the time of disproportionate uncertainty in worlds. In the world, I should say. Yeah, definitely. If I would say I look like anybody, it's George Washington. I actually don't look like George Washington. George Washington had like a pointy nose. I would say my nose is more roundish. He had thin lips. I think my lips are much larger than his. I'm just better looking than George Washington. That's all I'm saying. I'm just a better looking dude.
No, you're definitely better looking than George Washington, but he was also a 6'4" ginger.
I know. I'd still take his height all day, bro. Give me his height.
Oh, absolutely.
Was he ginger?
Yeah, he was, dude.
Wow. Interesting. You never know because he always wore the wig, so you never really know which way he flew.
He also went gray pretty early.
Yeah. All right, guys. Apple up. NASDAQ still pulling back. Is it time to buy the dip of the NASDAQ here, though? I don't freaking know here, man. I'm looking at it. Look, I'm looking at 750s. I'm
having trouble getting Trade Evade to work. Not pulling up the stocks that I'm typing in.
Yeah. Nvidia's dropping a bit. Yeah, I see Nvidia pulling back some. Sandisk went green on the day and is pulling back some as well. But Nvidia actually is falling all the way back down to lows here. So look, here's 750s. Am I gonna regret not taking this trade? Please come back to me here. We talked about it. We saw it. We didn't live it, guys. 750s right here. Dude, I completely missed regular PMI data. Man, chat, y'all are supposed to remind me of this here.
No.
We had regular manufacturing data today, right? I don't think it's moving anything. It came out like 8 minutes ago. Market didn't really do anything from it, but the ISM data is the big one anyway. Regular manufacturing data showed up at 54.5, basically flat. Is expected at 54, so the ISM data is expected at 53.1. You also want to pay attention to ISM prices because that's going to have to do with inflation and fears regarding inflation. This all drops in 11 minutes for ISM data, chat. So this data does drop in 11 minutes. Yeah, it was 54.5, or no, wait, it's at 45.5. It was, I think it was 45.5 actually. Yeah, it was at 54.5. 54.5. So it's only slightly better than expected in the last time. Last time it was 54, it showed up at 54.5. But that's not really the market moving one. The ISM, the Institute of Supply Management data that comes out in 10 minutes is going to be the big one. Hey, thank you, Sai. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you, brother. Bloody good day, John. At Beginner Training. Thanks for the up-to-date news. Thank you, my friend. That is a pound, right? 10 pounds? Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sai. My guy. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. That was really nice, you know?
Yeah, I mean, money's always good, Britt. It is always good. They say it's always good, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, we're pushing back up to all-time highs on the NASDAQ here. We are getting closer and closer. But right now, we've got a range to watch here. Guys, we've got a range to watch. I should have bought 750s. I talked about it. I believed it. You know, Britt distracted me, is what this was. I wanted 750s.
Didn't. I did it on purpose.
I believe that, dude. I believe that. Here's 750s, man. I wanted it. I didn't get it. Maybe there's not enough meat on the move. We got the ISM data in 9 minutes here, chat. In 9 minutes, we have ISM data. So we will see what we get. What the heck did I just do? Anybody see that? That was weird. We broke highs, but then the screen refreshed at the same time. NASDAQ got up to 815s just now. Look at the NASDAQ go here. So the NASDAQ just broke highs of the day. Again, the S&P did as well. New all-time highs on the S&P are now 72, 78, 25. NVIDIA simultaneously broke down under $200 a share. NVIDIA is now 199.80s for NVIDIA. So NVIDIA still struggling. Sandisk all the way back up to 11.23 right now. So Sandisk has gone all the way back. It's now effectively green from its earnings report. And Apple is about to break the highs that it made yesterday during its earnings report as well, which is not the all-time highs, but all-time highs are 288 on Apple, I believe. 288. Yeah, we are at 284s here. So Apple's getting close to all-time highs as well, bro. Apple continues pushing up in this trajectory. Apple's going to break all-time highs today as well. Sandisk flying higher here, flying higher. But markets are pumping into all-time highs here. And we do have ISM manufacturing data in 10 minutes. Let's see what we get. But ISM PMI data in 10 minutes. In 8 minutes.
None of my candlesticks are moving except for on the NASDAQ for some reason.
Brent, you can YOLO your life savings on calls right now. I will if you do.
Oh, yeah?
Not me. This is not me saying this. This is Nick in the chat right now. This is Nick 12.
No, I don't.
You know,
no,
a very, you know, he. If anybody has more sway over anything in markets, I think it's Nick 12 here. You know, I think Nick 12. He's the guy right now. He's got more credibility than Buffett, Bezos.
No, Nick 12, known far and wide as the trading guru.
That's right. I believe that. I believe that, Nick 12. You know, because listen, I don't know what, you know, geniuses in markets, what they usually say is YOLO on options. You know, I believe that. I really do.
I'll wager my life savings. So let me dig the coins out of my pocket.
Right. What is that? Like $5?
Yeah, dude, something like that. You know, in quarters.
As long as it's not in pennies, you know. Whoever expects a tweet from the president should hold his breath. I will join the call fund. I have $3. Okay, so we got Brit's life savings on the line, and we got Jay over here. You know,
Man, we're in big now.
it's spiraling here. It's spiraling. All right, guys. ISM data in 7 minutes. We'll see what we get.
And no, I'm not a George Washington expert. I know some about him. I'm a history buff in general.
Yeah, you ever seen Shane? What's his name's bit on?
Shane Gillis. Yeah, yeah. Just a big scary ginger rampaging around the woods. You know?
Right. Yeah, for sure. Real quick. I'm seeing. No, this was 17 minutes ago. Never mind. Okay, never mind. Forget I even said anything, guys. Nvidia is still breaking down though. Look at Nvidia here. Nvidia, not looking sweet for Nvidia here. Nvidia's at 199.40s here, so Nvidia is actually effectively red on the day now. Hey, later, Sam. Have a good day. All right, I'm in. We always knew it. Why is Trump not tweeting? I don't know why he hasn't tweeted yet. I would assume
I'm
he
shocked
would.
he hasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So never mind. I need to talk to you a little bit about this chart after stream. I need some help.
Yeah. All good. All right. NASDAQ is testing all-time highs again right now. Look at it. All right. Yeah, we just got up to 814s, which was the previous all-time highs. So we did get up to previous levels here. Let's see if we hold. You just tapped that level and then came right back down here. He hasn't woken up yet. All right, so we're at 800s here, 27 800s. S&P just broke all-time highs. NASDAQ just broke all-time highs again here. We have 5 minutes before the ISM data goes live here as well, chat. 5 minutes. Let's see what we get with this data here, though. Look at the NASDAQ and the S&P fly higher here. 850s. 850s.
Let me
make sure there's no news.
Cause a downturn.
Real quick. Let me make sure there's no news. Iran state-run IRNA. Iran's foreign minister Arachi briefs regional counterparts on Iran's stance to end the war. Okay, well, what is it? Wild opening here.
I'm going to say give us the things that we've been wanting and we'll end the war.
In the war right now. We'll talk about nuclear later. Don't worry about that. We'll figure that out later. Let's end there right now.
Yeah, just put that on the back burner. It's not important.
Right. Like, don't worry about that. You know, don't worry about that. We'll figure that out later. All right, guys. NASDAQ is up to 830s here. 830s, 840s right now. NASDAQ just jumped up. The S&P just jumped up. Again, this is mostly driven by Apple. Sandisk is flying. Google is starting to rebound back up. Meta is kind of flat, actually. Microsoft is green on the day. But we are breaking all-time highs, new all-time highs on the NASDAQ, 856 right now. ISM data drops in 3.5 minutes here. 3.5 minutes. Yeah. Nvidia just cracked the $200 level again here, guys. All right, ISM data very soon.
How much impact could the ISM data potentially have on this big jump up?
I mean, I think because of how big this move is, it's not going to matter too much, but it depends on what the data shows up as, realistically. Like, if the data shows up big and crazy, yes. If the data shows up slow and boring and flat as expected, not much influence. So it's all going to depend on what the data actually shows up as, you know, realistically.
All right,
here we go. 3 minutes, chat, 3 minutes. ISM is coming in hot. Yeah, it's expected today. ISM data is expected today at 53.1. It was 52.7 last time. Pay attention to ISM prices. They're expected at 80. Last time was 78.3. So if these prices show up much higher than expected, people might have inflation fears. And so that is one of the dynamics to pay attention to today for sure. Is just what this data could potentially show up as. And so we'll see. We're at 850s right now. The data's dropping very soon. The S&P has broken all-time highs as well. If you look at the S&P up here, the S&P, the actual S&P 500 new all-time high are 72.61, 72.60s. S&P futures contract new all-time highs are 72.80s or 72.91s. So let's prepare for the ISM data here, chat, because the ISM data is coming soon. Here we go. Also, if you haven't already, guys, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. We have a minute and a half left for the data release. A minute and a half left.
Show the love, guys. Come on.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. A minute and a half left.
We definitely do. I mean, it sounds like a platitude, but genuinely, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, you sound like you're underwater in a pool right now, Britt.
What about now?
It's a little bit better, but still a little weird. Anyways, 1 minute left, chat. 1 minute left. S&P getting close to all-time highs. NASDAQ getting close to all-time highs. Let's see what happens here.
Sorry,
bull or bear?
Help?
Yeah, now it's much better. Bull or bear, guys? Put bull or bear for ISM data in chat right now. Nvidia back over 200 is good as well. S&P and the NASDAQ are pretty close. Pretty close to all-time highs here. Here we go. We're about to break all-time highs right now. Yeah, we're up to 860s.
I was just saying, it wasn't platitudes. We genuinely appreciate you guys. Thanks for everything.
Yeah,
nice to interact with you.
25 seconds left. I see bull, bear, bear, bull, 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 bull. Mostly bulls in chat. I get the bull side today. Have you ever been more wrong, Britt? Have you ever been more wrong?
Oh yeah, I've definitely been more wrong.
All right, guys. Here's the data release in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here's the report right here. Whoa, look at this jump here. ISM PMI 52.7. Prices were higher than expected at 84.6. Weaker PMI data for manufacturing. Higher prices, 84.6. This might negatively impact markets just because of the ISM data that just came out. Again, 84.6 ISM prices is probably the scary number here, I would assume. And that might be why markets are reacting down. Or maybe markets are just reacting first move is the wrong move type situation here. But again, ISM Manufacturing PMI was weaker than expected. Prices were noticeably higher here. I'm going to put some of these numbers up in chat just to show you guys what these numbers were. But yeah, here's the data right here. ISM manufacturing prices showed up at this level right here, chat. Let me put this big on screen.
Let me see.
Again, this level right here is probably what could scare markets, but markets are at all-time highs, so maybe it doesn't matter here. The bulls might continue to rise, but prices were 84.6, noticeably higher than expected here, and they were already jumping up. The previous ISM prices were 78.3. ISM manufacturing PMI was weaker than expected, and so we got two negatives here. We got weaker manufacturing, and we got higher prices for ISM manufacturing prices here. So, but again, we are at all-time highs. It doesn't necessarily mean anything too crazy. Higher prices and weaker manufacturing is what this data shows. So inflation concerns and weaker manufacturing data is what it shows. With that said, though, the S&P and the NASDAQ just broke all-time highs. So the S&P and the NASDAQ just broke all-time highs. Again, new all-time highs on the NASDAQ, 7296. We're heading towards 7,300 on the S&P. The NASDAQ currently at 27,889.75 here. So the NASDAQ is heading towards, realistically, the NASDAQ's heading towards 28,000 if it gets more bullishness today. So 28,000 if it gets more bullishness. But again, higher prices here could freak markets out. You can kind of see the NASDAQ still pushing up, but yeah, that could be what's freaking the market out here. New order showed up at 54.1. That was stronger than expected as well. Employment showed 46.4, weaker than expected employment. The Fed's Logan is speaking right now. He says Fed should not give guidance implying easing right now. All right, let me maybe take a trade here. I'm going to go short. These numbers were not good necessarily, but it's definitely risky, and it's going to be small. We're going to use like 905 as a risk level here. Because I think even if we're going up, maybe we'll make a little pit stop on the downside here. Do not copy me. I'm not an investment professional, guys. We got a pretty decent amount of profit on this account, though, realistically. A tight risk, big reward target is what this trade is, by the way. All right, so we are starting to consolidate some here. Here, Britt, I'll explain that to you once the stream's over.
That's
Why
fine.
is
I just
my...
want to make sure I didn't accidentally take a trade or something.
Yeah, no, you're good. All right, so we tried to break highs again. I'm going to reduce my size a little bit on this just because it's moving a lot. And then add back if we go in my favor here. So we're going to keep it pretty tight and limited. We are going up, John, not consolidating. Yeah, hey, you might be right. That's why I reduced some size. I want to give it time to pull back. It's a small risk, big reward trade, but I do not want to ride a high of the day break out. Here, I'm cutting it. We just broke highs of the day. It might pull back big, but look at the S&P. That's really what made me cut it. Is the S&P still flying higher here? How far can this go though? I think right now, realistically, we're close to 28,000 on the NASDAQ, and that might be like an influence here. Why is Palantir
influence to continue to drive it up?
Yeah. Well, the big milestone levels, Brick, can be kind of like a magnet sometimes, you know, so they can have like a magnetism to them where like they just kind of attract price action towards it.
Yeah, I understand that. That's the psychology behind that.
Yeah, real quick, we did jump back at a short here. I didn't want to take it on stream because it was just kind of stressful. But we'll hold the rest break even. We've already scaled out of most of this. Let's take a piece off there too. If the bears get control of it for a little while here. There we go. That's what we wanted. I'll give it some time though. There we go. All right, I'm going to take a piece off there as well. And we'll hold the last one break even. All right. Yeah, 28,000 makes sense, but here's a big pullback. It's what we were looking for in the whole time anyway, but the question is, do I add to this or continue to hold the breakdown here? Breakdown's nice. There we go. Hey, I'm going to cut that right there. All right.
I'm just curious if we think it's going to continue to break down or trend sideways.
Yeah, we made a couple hundred from that trade, I think. I don't know. I think, you know, you could also buy this dip. You know, I think it makes sense to buy the dip. You know, markets are looking for a dip to buy. I'm not telling anybody to do it. I'm not an investment professional, obviously. I'm not liable if you lose money. Make your own assessment, trade smart. But, you know, you could also argue buying the dip. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Again, the prices came in a little high for ISM data to me. I think I don't think the ISM PMI manufacturing and prices data was good. But when you zoom out here, look at a 15-minute chart. Man, this is a wild chart. A wild chart. Yeah. And again, guys, remember, check out Lucid if you haven't already. Most traders lose money. Just a great way to learn how to day trade. Lucid, again, if you look at like some of their options here, Lucid's pretty solid. You know, I like they're like my main one, but 60 million paid to traders, 50,000 plus use Lucid. They process the payout in 1 minute's time for me. 1 minute, literally 1 minute. What I like is the 10-to-1 micro scaling, which really suits my strategy, like scaling in 90-10 profit split, no payout windows. There's a ton of different options. You can go Lucid Pro, Lucid Flex, direct to funded with Lucid as well. And so just really useful. Again, use coupon code BGT if you want to help support your boy here in this channel. But again, heading into the weekend, guys, what do you guys think we get this weekend? Here's the link right there. Check it out. What do you guys think we get this weekend? I'm torn. I really don't know.
I think we get some amount of escalation. I don't know, you know, what that will look like. But at the very least, we're going to get a bunch of destabilizing tweets, I think.
Yeah. So more or less escalation?
More.
I mean, there's a chance we get less. It really depends. NASDAQ broke all-time highs again. There's 27,900s here on the NQ. So
I'm just going by historical context.
Yeah. No, I feel you. We are going up until CPI. You think CPI is dumping the market down? I don't know, man. CPI for April is interesting. It's not next week, but the week after. We also have payrolls. Okay, wait. So 2 minutes ago, journalist Abdullah Kalouf revealed details of the new Iranian proposal. They said Tehran accepts discussing the nuclear file through technical and technological committees with a long-term freeze on enrichment and deferring the missiles and arms files to a later stage. Is what this is. So we did get some details right now. And again, the details are that Tehran accepts discussing the nuclear file through technical and technological committees with a long-term freeze on enrichment and deferring the missiles and arms files to a later stage. So that sounds like they might be willing to give it up. You know, a long-term freeze on enrichment, I think, is good. I think that verbiage is good. But
it is.
It's still not exactly right, 100%. And so that is good, I think. And so again, I'm gonna put this out there in the chat so you guys can see the news. This is the news. Yeah, so here's the news right here that I'm showing. I don't know if this is going to make markets jump. Markets are still close to all-time highs here, so I don't know if this is going to make markets jump up or not. But here is the catalyst, one of the catalysts that I see right now. Yeah, it sounds good. If this is true, that sounds good. If it's true.
I agree. But all this excitement and market jumping up has made me hungry, though.
Yeah, and I gotta run anyway. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Y'all have a great weekend. Great weekend. Also, check out Apex if you haven't already, guys. Again, most day traders lose money. Apex has the cheapest accounts in the game right now. So look at Apex accounts, dude. They're still doing really good. I think their sale ends. I have to go back. I think it's like May 9th. But Apex does have some of the cheapest accounts in the game. You can use my coupon code on BGT. You can use my coupon code on Tradeify, on Apex, on Lucid, on Bullinox, on Trade Day. Again, check them out. We appreciate the love, guys. Thanks so much.
Absolutely, very much appreciate it. It was great interacting with you guys today. I had a heck of a time talking with you, and it's one of the high points of my day, so thanks. I appreciate it, guys. And have a great one.
Have a great day. Again, if you want to check out Apex, I'll put that link up. Great way to help with the channel. You can find the coupon codes, which is BGT, to all this stuff in the description. Again, Apex still has 90% off, I think, for the next week. Here's the link. Check it out. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great day. Most day traders lose.
These are on the way out, guys.
Yeah, these are affiliates of mine. Hit the like button. Also, join our Discord. Join our Discord. You can see it pinned to the top of the chat. Join our Discord. It's pinned. It's right here. If you look at our Discord here, guys, it's right here. So it's pinned at the top of the chat. So join our Discord. Completely free. Doesn't cost anything. Hang out with us once the stream ends over the weekend. If we do have big breaking news, I will do my best to cover it as as good as I can. So have a great day. I'll see you guys later.
Also